Okay, so can you check? Go on my page, your page. Make sure I'm not. No?
Not yet.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so click on the red thing. Hello, everybody. Give us 1 second.
Which red thing?
You see it? Okay, great. All right. Hello, everybody. It's me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here. Normally, I'd be with Donovan Sadiq, but he is not here. He is taking care of his new dog. So he'll be back on Tuesday. I'll actually be at his house doing our podcast and our live feed. And admittedly, I cannot see the comment section. And of course, a car is going to, be doing this thing in the background, but hopefully you guys can hear me pretty well. I also have Walter here kind of checking the comments here and there. I can see y'all coming in. So, of course, the purpose of the Demetra K Show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with an emphasis on even, because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. I'd like to say a big giant thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Today, I will not be sharing the link because I can't, but you guys get the point. Nevertheless, welcome. So here we are going to be discussing whether Kamala or Trump is the better candidate at this table. And there's some people who are not at the table, but at the table, we have people who are on both sides, some maybe in the middle, and some people say they are free thinkers, okay? So here we have Brother Terrell, and you guys have seen Terrell before. We have Brother Romel. Uh, they're free thinkers. That's what they say, but I guess you guys will be able to ascertain exactly what side of the coin they're on by the conversation. Of course, Walter. Y'all seen Walter on there before, and I think you guys know where he lands. And this is Brother Greg, although Walter called him Craig, but no, this is Brother Greg, and more Democrat, liberal. Sure. Okay, so I don't want to label anybody anything they're not.
See the comments.
Okay, or you can whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Walter's going to get the laptop so he can see the comments or whatever. So hopefully, I'm coming in hot and you guys can see me. Okay. So as you guys know, we are smack dab in the middle, I should say, at the tail end of election season, where the election will take place November 5th. Either Trump will go back to the White House or Kamala will stay in the White House. Of course, you guys know that she is the vice president. Trump was the president in 2016. So per the polls, they're kind of neck and neck, depending on what you believe. But of course, we knew that in 2016 that Hillary Clinton, was well ahead in the polls. And then, of course, it was Donald Trump, right? So I always say, people ask me all the time, who is going to win? I say, we'll find out on November 5th, November 6th, right? That's when we'll know when the people have decided. I'm sorry if I'm shaking the table a little bit. I'll try to stop doing that. So I'm going to start with, who wants to go first? Romero, how are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, so the question is, who is the better candidate, in your opinion, Kamala or Trump, and why? And if you want, you can say who you're voting for if you're comfortable with that.
So, hey, my name is Romel, and I think and I believe that Kamala is the better candidate. Now, Trump has some good suggestions that he's running on, but then again, I can't vote for Trump because I know what he stands for. But anyway,
that's gonna be fun.
I digress, and that's it.
Okay, so all right, yep. So you're voting for Kamala, okay? Brother Terrell,
Yes.
do tell.
Okay, so I will be voting for Donald Trump.
Sorry about that, y'all. We're outside, actually at the beach, so hopefully that'll pass by and that won't be an issue anymore. Okay, I think we're good. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I will be voting for Trump for the third time. 16, 20, and 24. And the reason why, I just believe in the American First agenda. I do believe that Kamala, or Democrats as a whole, they're typically better politicians. But I prefer Trump's policies over hers.
All right, Brother Greg.
As we sit here in the bastion of Newport Beach, Republican stronghold.
I'm here with the Republicans. Yeah, this is a mega city.
Yes. I can tell you for sure that Kamala Harris is probably the better candidate.
I'm sorry.
As a veteran, I cannot get over the fact that some of the leaders in the military have often called him the greatest threat to democracy.
Greatest threat. Okay.
The guy with no wars.
Sure,
It's not your turn.
I'm sorry.
sure, the guy with no role. However, if 20 out of the 24 cabinet members are not supporting him, that gives me cause for concern.
Okay.
So we'll start.
Okay. Walter.
Should y'all know where I stand? Actually, I always get in trouble on this show. Here's why I like Trump now. I don't care about his personality and the stuff he says, because if we judge the politician based on what they say behind closed doors, we would be voting for none of them. I mean, Kamala's husband, he got the nanny pregnant, had an abortion. So obviously we're not going on morals here. We're going on policy. And I haven't heard her say one policy thing. So
He's
maybe
not
they ask you,
running. He's not running.
who's not running?
The
husband ain't running?
No, it's not.
But I mean, it's kind of like you pick, you don't think he's going to be whispering in her ear at night? Like, really?
Okay, so wait, Walls is running, so I'll go there since you brought it up. As a veteran, how do you feel about all his stolen valor in lying about and misrepresenting his history as a veteran?
Yeah.
How do you reconcile that?
Being in Tiananmen Square.
As a first of all, he's not president. Second of all,
He's one heartbeat from the presidency. It does matter.
But let him answer.
Well, heartbeat.
Wait, Mr. Fellas.
Oh, some of that stuff.
Let him answer.
I'm gonna stick it right here.
I know.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all
I
good.
got you.
I get where he's saying. I get where he's going. Here's the thing though. For Trump, when you read some of the books that have been written, whether it's by Bob Woodward or guy of the same last name color, you find that the people who worked in that administration with him were definitely scared of him, of what he said, how he said, and how he was influenced. And we're not going to get on outside influence, outside the country, other leaders. I'm talking about specifically how he was influenced at the White House. For instance, watching Fox News, and they're saying stuff to get him going or not going, and learning how to manipulate him based on what he was doing. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be quite honest. She should have chosen him. She should have chosen a Republican governor from Pennsylvania, Shapiro. I think that was the wrong choice. I think.
Is he Republican?
I'm sorry, Democrat.
Okay, gotcha.
I think she chose him because correct me if I'm wrong, I think he said he wasn't going to succeed her if she gets in as president.
Okay.
Shapiro was much more of a guy who he had a commanding presence that might have overshadowed her.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as him, Walt, I'm not cool on that. Stolen in the stolen valor. He said two things actually. He said that he was over in Iraq or Afghanistan and he wasn't.
Tiananmen Square.
Oh, the second thing is Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, you remember he was standing in front of a tank.
Yeah, but he was off some months. Politicians are going to do what they do.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So you said the Joint Chiefs of Staff and all the military top brass.
20 of the 24 cabinet members.
So they said they're not comfortable with a Trump presidency. Did they say why?
Well, yeah, they said he was a threat to democracy, but based on what he was doing while he was there, and we're I don't want to go off on a tangent, but also my main reason is during COVID, what he said, how he said it, what he wanted to keep for the American people, and you need somebody who's going to tell the truth, who tell it how it is. I heard somebody else say, listened to it yesterday. You know what he could have did, and he would have still been in during COVID. It's like, hey, everybody put on a mask. I'm selling Make America Great Again mask because we want everybody to be healthy. What did he do? He did not do that. He said it's not a big problem. It's going to be over in what? In a couple of months or whatever like that. And that's why he lost in 2020. Because if COVID hadn't happened, he surely would have been in there.
Okay, so
That part is true.
so and Walter, can you see just some of the comments? Whatever. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I like to do that a lot. So when Trump was in office,
You got to sit there with him too. So he's Democratic.
I got you.
Well, like, sure.
Okay, I ask this both of y'all. When Trump was in office, how many wars was America in? And you would know more because you're in the military and stuff like that.
What? None.
What we're in, we're already involved in?
Or
Or how many he
how
started?
many were started during his administration?
None.
Oh, no, because he cozied up to everybody. He gave everybody what they wanted.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Okay, so you say cozied up to everybody. Do y'all like the state of the world now, especially in the Middle East?
No, but I didn't like it during Obama's either.
A Democrat, you said I didn't. Okay, so right now, how many wars do we have? And you know, a lot of people are saying this is potentially World War III.
They always say that.
Well, Israel. Then you have was it Taiwan's maybe getting involved? You got Iran. You got Yemen, including Palestine. So there's a lot.
And
The Middle East is hot right
You
now.
have France
Yeah.
contemplating sending troops to the Middle East.
Right. So
That's how it starts.
so I guess my question is, from what we've seen, because we've seen a Trump presidency, right? No wars, but we see some now, and then constantly when Kamala's asked, especially in regards to the Middle East, she says, and I don't really talk a lot about Israel on here because, you know,
Of course.
but she says they have her full support. She's hoping for a ceasefire, but there's nothing, you know, there's no signs of stopping. I mean, even Lebanon's involved,
Yes.
you know. So when we think about the military, what we know now, I mean, I guess
I think the bigger question is, if Trump gets in, what do you think is going to happen? What is he going to acquiesce to Russia when it comes to Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Yeah, is he going to acquiesce to Israel versus Palestine or whatever else? The thing that gets me not scared, but concerned is he means what he says. Everybody says, hey, he's just talking. He's talking. No, he means what he says. Hey, in 2016, when he won, what was his mantra? He was like, hey, Hillary needs to be in jail. After he got in, people was like, oh, he was just talking. No, he asked two, who are they? Attorney generals?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so to this.
Oh, yeah.
You go ahead.
I'm sorry.
So you're saying a lot, and I'm not here, and I'll do my best to remember what you said, and I'm not attacking you because we just met. So I think the subtext of everything you just said is that you have been influenced by what the media has said and what his prior cabinet has said about him. Okay, so when you meet a black Democrat, they always say they're a Democrat because that's what we do, right?
No.
That's the overwhelming majority.
Yeah.
That's the overwhelming majority of the sentiment. But when you meet a black Republican and when you ask them, why are you a Republican? They always say, I did my homework. I wasn't influenced by the media and the establishment. And to Trump's credit, people forget that the original Never Trumpers were Republicans. So the fact that the people he chose to guide him were really against him is not a surprise. And Trump has also, he's admitted he made mistakes about who he chose. Okay. And then you mentioned putting Hillary, his mantra was putting Hillary in jail, right? So he made that very famous mic drop in the debate that says, if I were president, you would be in jail, right? But when he became president, he said, it's time to move forward. He didn't do lawfare the way they're doing now against him. And lastly, I don't want to filibuster. So when Trump was president, like, was your life affected? Was it bad? Because like I said, I just met you, so I got the impression that you're not someone who punches a clock. You're self-employed. So was the business environment easier under a Trump presidency or not? So where's all this Trump stuff coming from, other than being influenced by what we know is a corrupt corporate media and a leftist agenda?
Well, maybe let me because that's a lot. But I get what you're saying. So maybe if I can just ask specific questions. Um, so we were talking about the war, and so with that, you said that you think Kamala would be better.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, so
Do you feel like she
do
would?
you feel like she would be better to handle war? Because right now, as we know, under because still Biden's administration, it's not technically hers, right?
One of the things I do is, and I have the time, I read, I like to read like biographies of books. Like I mentioned before, by Bob Woodward, or got the guys David McCullough, same
Yeah.
person.
And I'm sorry about the and there was no helicopters going on until we start. I
Yeah.
promise y'all. So hopefully it's not too bad.
It's Kamala. They some independent thinking Negroes. We better shut that down.
So here's the thing: if 80% of your cabinet is, if this was a Democrat, and 80% of your cabinet said, "Nah, I'm not with it. You can't." If they call it a Democrat 80% fascist or communist, yeah, I would still take a look. These guys, if we're just talking strictly military, these guys have spent 30, 40 years in the military. They're not going to risk their reputations. They're not going to risk their who they are based on. I just don't like the guy.
May I please respond?
Finish this, and then we're gonna move on to something else.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish yours.
So go ahead, but my point is, you got these guys who've been in the military 30, 40 years, who senior leadership, who have been educated, got master's degrees, taken multiple courses in leadership, and they're not going to risk their reputations on, I just don't like the guy. There has to be facts about it. And there's all kinds of posts or reporting about what was done, including when he marched the Bible up to the Capitol and had it upside down. Everything's been reported.
Okay, well let me ask y'all this, and so we can just move it along. I'm gonna ask everybody, okay, to name me if you can 2 policies of the candidate you like that you like. Terrell.
Stay in Mexico, remain in Mexico, Trump's #1 policy. And I believe in low taxes and small government.
Okay.
If you
Go ahead. Okay.
So was there a follow-up about Kamala?
Oh yeah. If you
So what I don't like about her, I believe Kamala, who by the way had 92% turnover in her staff. Okay, and then you also mentioned these military experts. You mean the same people who told you that the laptop was fake? The same people who wasted taxpayer dollars for 2 years on the Russia collusion? So like their reputations and their credibility is shot in my eyes. So that line of thinking, if you, I mean, it sounds counterintuitive, right? If that's your thought process of making that decision, I don't think they're trustworthy at all. Okay, and how many millions of dollars did that 2-year Russia investigation cost American taxpayers? The same people that told us that Trump's $20 billion wall was too expensive, but they spent over $100 billion on Ukraine's border. And by the way, cozying up to Putin. So when Trump was president, Putin was a good boy. Within a couple of months of Biden and Kamala Harris administration coming in, that's when they invaded Russia. Ukraine, excuse me. As far as Kamala Harris, I don't like the fact, I don't know if she's an idiot or if she's an evil genius. Because I don't like a person who gets on TV and says a firefighter pays more taxes than a billionaire. So that tells me, my question is, does she not know the difference between the effective tax rate or the marginal tax rate. And then I think you invest in real estate, right? So she's talking about giving everyone $25,000 for the first time. So what she wants to do, inflate real estate prices. They want to do what they did to the school system to now to real estate. And that BS she put out last week, making recreational marijuana legal.
Oh, that's for us.
Yeah.
Because all black men smoke weed.
Yeah.
Wait, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it.
Oh, no, next person that's
I'm not attacking you.
Okay, so
You're saying a lot of interesting things. I'm not attacking you, okay?
no, but what he's saying is actually what's out
okay.
there.
Oh, wait, I'm gonna get to you. Brother Romel, what do you like about Kamala? And I guess if you want to, say two things about Trump, you can.
It was like not because she's black.
All right, hold up.
And you know what's so crazy? It's like, I don't know, some banner that's going on top. It's an ad. And it wasn't doing that a minute ago. But anyway, so two things that you like about Kamala.
Well,
Her policies, right?
what I like about Kamala,
You know they're gonna get you, right?
who?
Because you saying her name wrong. They real
How do you say the name?
Kamala.
Oh,
What did I say?
Kamala. But no, I'm just
see,
gonna
but it's the shit that you
I'm
just
just saying.
Kamala's delusion. Anyway, it's
What I like about her,
Comrade.
what I like
yeah,
about
comrade.
He ain't lying.
what I like about her is she knows how to stand up to Trump. I believe she won that debate. I believe that she won
Well,
that debate. Let me finish. I believe she won the debate because not only do I do not like the way Donald Trump talks, but how he attacks, and he always attacks when he speaks from concerning other people. When he attacks into him.
let him finish.
And now, reason why I don't like Trump, how you gonna tell people to go to the Capitol and stand like or whatever he said, and then an insurrection happened? All right, I don't like that.
You see,
No,
he
he encouraged
so I
it.
gotta respond.
He encouraged that. No, because
No, wait, go ahead.
After he
Go ahead.
finishes.
what he
He could say
encouraged it,
peaceful.
you know what I'm saying?
Though.
It wasn't what peaceful about
And
it.
that's what he said.
When he had the chance to tell the people to stand down and to go home, he just stood there and watched it.
Yeah, he actually it's not true. He actually thinks.
No.
Okay, so the two things that you like about Kamala is that one, she sticks up to Trump, and what was the other one?
Well, she knows how. To me, I think
And policy wise, if you don't mind. But if that's what you have, that's fine.
That's fine.
Okay, so that she is able to stand up to Trump.
she's able to stand up as somebody to argue a certain case.
Okay, so she's good verbally going toe to toe with him. What do you like? Two things about Trump.
What I like about Trump, and I'm not. My answer is not
We're
going to
gonna
be.
get into the nitty gritty.
My answer is not going to be about Kamala, because every time you ask somebody why do you like Kamala, Trump comes out of their mouth. This is what I like about Trump. I like the fact that our women can be protected in the future. My daughter goes into a locker room. She doesn't have to worry about a dude coming in. Number one, two. I've been to the border, matter of fact, across the border often, and I've seen the mess. And I know when I go to Mexico, I know what it's like over there versus what we have over here. And I mean, these people are leaving countries away to go to Mexico, going through multiple countries to get here. Some people, as we speak, are on little boats, swimming, backstroking, doing whatever they could do to get over here. So that they are coming to what I feel like is a Trump economy. We have no wars that he started. Inflation was control over. So I mean, in his policies, he's to the point. I'm going to reduce energy costs, and if you reduce energy, it's going to be cheaper to make cups, donuts. It's going to be cheaper to cook. It's going to be. I went to the grocery store today and spent $10 on blueberries. And the other thing, what I like about Trump is I don't hear him talking about race all the time. Like me and this white lady sat at Costco, and we both were like, "Damn, $10."
Are you sure about that?
You know what I'm saying? No. So when I listen to Trump talk, he doesn't use race as
Are you sure about
you're
that?
black and you can't do like Joe Biden gets says, so you need to work harder because you're black. But Trump says, I'm going to help black people. I'm going to make it better for black people. He doesn't go on and on about you're black and you can't do it. That's why I like Trump. Policies.
I haven't seen Kamala talk about that either. Has she?
Talk about what?
Black.
What's the whole
I would say, okay.
I'm getting off track.
Hey, he's like walking like you're talking.
Okay, so we said, okay, I'm gonna throw some issues on the table.
I want my policies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. What two policies?
Yeah, talk about Kamala politics and she won't.
Yeah, what's his, yeah, please educate us on her policies.
Gentlemen, I'm drinking water, by the way. I promise.
We know she's just a middle class.
Can the spectator speak so?
Yeah, this is Chris. Brother Chris. He doesn't have to be on camera if he
Just the voice. Chris G of Riverside. So in the debate, Trump was like, what was it? It was like, what is your plan on, like specific, what is,
Right.
He's like, well, I ain't president yet. I don't really have a plan. So we're talking about what are these policies, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so Trump can talk. He could talk.
I
You
believe,
know what I'm
I
saying?
believe he had a concept of.
But my main thing too with this is like, how he wants to empower the police force. You know what I'm saying? And in empowering the police force makes me feel in danger.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and I'll let you finish because I want.
That's actually a good point.
Okay, but go ahead.
And so like if the police force is they're hiring police at a rate that is like, if we're going to make these, you know what I'm saying? And so now we get these people that are not educated about people like me, the black man, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm policed 3 or 4 or 5 times now, you know what I'm saying? And so they already have a misconception on this black man before they approach me, man. So my life is in danger. So that is my main thing with Trump. That's my main thing with Trump, man,
Okay.
because he wants to enforce these police, and these police don't know how to enforce.
Okay. So let me just. I'm gonna try to help move the conversation along. I'm trying to play devil's advocate, but I know y'all watching is like what? Anyway, okay. So you say that you feel like Trump. You feel more in danger because Trump has basically emboldened, empowered the police.
Yeah, that's what I know that he wants to do is like go get these niggas.
Okay, but what would be different than's going on now? With you as a black man or any black
It's
man.
no different now, but
Uh-huh.
but it's going to be all right. So now I hear the thing like I don't want to defund the police.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's
It could be
but
chaos.
I want to educate the police.
Okay.
Okay, because we are dying at a rate like we all black men here.
Okay, but can I ask you?
Can't nobody deny this.
True, but that is.
Not saying aside from you, D. We
Yeah, no. I mean,
you get what I'm saying. Like
you know,
we got 5 of us.
the day of the week, if I have a hat on,
No. I'm saying.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, we know that black people, per FBI statistics, are the most endangered more than anybody. That's just a fact. Now we also know who's in office. Is it the Republicans or is it Democrats?
I mean, to me, it hasn't really been a deciding factor on the police force on who's in office.
Okay.
The police force has been consistent.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Since
Let me ask you a better question.
Since
Right.
Emancipation Proclamation.
Okay, but let me ask you. Right. Okay. Now.
And it's been evolving and getting
So,
more
let me
worse
ask you
and
a
worse
better
every
question. Let me ask you a better question. When Trump was in office, did you feel more endangered then? Like, were we more endangered? Like,
I didn't feel safer. Niggas was still getting killed.
Do you feel safer now?
Niggas are still getting killed.
We can't say that word. But
Okay.
but
We're done.
okay, so regardless of who's in the White House, it doesn't change when you was a black man.
And there was more police brutality under Obama anyways.
And
Retaliation.
No. I'm just saying this enforcing like
Okay, but wait.
let's not defund police, but in fact, let's empower the police.
right.
Let's go get. If you want to be a policeman, we're paying $75,000
But they
for your
already
fair
do.
share.
But-
You're 19 years old.
But they doing that already. In fact, come on now, have a seat, brother. In fact, there's a lot of these immigrants, and we're gonna get into that are coming over here,
Let's talk about
and they
this.
want to deputize them. And when I say they, I mean the Democrats. Oh yes, look it up. Look it up. Where is it? I think it's Illinois. I think they're trying to do that.
Illinois deputy
So basically,
illegal
so they want to
alien.
fast track them. They want to fast track them when they can become police officers.
So okay, you're fast tracking the citizenship. I did hear about that.
There's already a law in place to allow them to get their citizenship temporarily.
And
Well, they already do it.
I saw that. I like about Trump that
Chris, you should just take a seat.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I'm gonna stop.
wait,
I'm gonna stop.
Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna
Okay,
stop after this.
2 weeks ago, okay, and 2 weeks ago in Texas,
No,
at 4:40 in the morning, there was a blue alert that woke up everybody in Texas at 4:40 in the morning. Y'all know what a blue alert is?
Nope, never heard of it.
You know what a blue alert is?
The horn?
A blue alert,
on the phone.
right? Okay, but it's like an air
Blue
alert. But a blue alert. This was under the Obama administration that was signed into law by Obama to warn police officers when they are in danger. Like, so what happened was a police officer got shot and in Texas, and they did the blue alert and woke up everybody. I got the alert too, right? To say, hey, police officers, you're in danger, or be on the lookout for this person who did this to the police officer. Now, people were mad, and there's like 4,000 complaints to the FCC or something like that because they did it. But the point that I'm making is, under the Obama administration, when the most, I guess, modern day, what we want to call lynchings of Black people, whether it's Trayvon Martin and beyond, that happened mostly under his administration. And he said, well, if I had a son like Trayvon, I'd be concerned. And then he went around and then he put out a blue alert to let the people that harm Black people probably the most or at a higher rate, police, he went and gave them a warning that you're in danger, but he didn't create a Black alert.
But if people read,
Oh, and I do.
I'm not saying.
Okay.
Oh, and I do.
I swear I do.
The former president was not a bastion of liberalism.
It was very centrist. I would say that.
We're
Also,
talking about Obama now?
Yeah.
also,
Okay.
also,
Netflix, $100 million.
Clinton,
Obama.
also Clinton, the former Democratic nominee, she is not a liberal. She is very center,
I would say so.
including Kamala.
Mhm.
Kamala left.
No. Her supporters are not. Her donors are not. In other words, she's not going to go in there and break up Google. She's not going to go in there and break up Morgan Stanley, those banks, because those are the primary ones that
Well,
were.
those are her friends.
Those are the ones that funded it, and that was the ones that, to his credit,
The billionaires.
no, to what's his name?
Terrell.
He exposed that Trump
Okay.
during the debate.
And she's repurposing that same argument that he debunked back in 2016.
What's that?
Talking about billionaires.
No. What I was saying was the same people that are supporting her. I'm talking about donors, big donors.
Yeah.
It's the same people. It's the same people that did Obama and everybody else. And Trump said that, hey, the same people who you're against are the same people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You say you're against,
So
but
it's-
you're
They're funding her campaign.
They're funding her
The
campaign.
billionaires.
Exactly.
So
So corporates is okay. So,
may I do?
yeah, and then I'm gonna ask
There's a lot that was said. So yeah, Kamala won the debate. She won it on style. Trump won it on substance. She won it from hello. And not to mention, he was debating 3 people. And if you
That was too.
hold
That
on,
too.
let me
He was
finish.
debating. He was like kung fu fighting.
Yeah, let me finish. So he has a problem with Trump and the police, right? So you're talking about immunity for police officers, right? Just like Trump, he is not for a federal abortion ban. He is not for cops taking away constitutional rights of people. He is not for that at all. But put that aside. So you got a problem with Trump's pro-police stance. But how do you feel about Biden 94 crime bill? And how do you feel about? No. You mentioned the 1-day insurrection, but the same people who complain about the insurrection, they never say anything about the 3 months our country was on fire and over 30 people died in the riots of 2020. So you guys always pick and choose what system. You always pick and choose history and what argument you want to pull out.
No, I don't. because the '94 crime bill, yeah, that was a travesty. You know what else was a
And
travesty?
that was Joe Biden.
Let me tell you what, and this is gonna apply to him,
And Bill Clinton.
and him. What happened in '89?
Are you talking about Central Park Crime?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
Wait,
that's
wait,
Wait,
wait.
let me finish.
That's a good argument.
Let me finish.
That's actually a good point.
That's on the other side of the country.
Okay, so finish the point though. You said
I remember specifically in '89 how they were railroaded,
Mm-hmm.
and those kids were our age,
Yeah,
and it could have been any one of us.
I agree.
When they took them into that police station,
Mm-hmm.
they railroaded.
Yeah,
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did he not post?
he did.
Wait, and didn't he do recently? What did he say recently? I still think they're guilty.
I have to respond to
Okay,
that.
but wait.
Please.
Okay.
But
I'm sorry.
a lot of people use those things on Trump as
No,
fear,
you
but
said
Okay, okay, but
the '94 crime bill,
Okay,
which I think is an absolute travesty.
Okay, hold on.
yeah, that was the '94 crime bill was
So-
directed at us.
I have heard Trump say he thought they were guilty. Then lately, I heard him say he wasn't the only one. Okay, now let me give this
What's the other one?
that thought they were guilty.
No,
Okay, so let me give it. In brother term, let y'all jump in. Then I'm gonna move on to another topic. Okay. So yes, the Central Park Five. I think we're all familiar with. We all, heard about it in real time. '89, I graduated high school. '89. So Trump did take out a full-page ad asking for the death penalty. If you don't mind me asking, what was Trump when he was politically speaking? What
He was
was
a Democrat.
Democrat?
Yes.
Do you know what the prosecutor was?
Those were Democrats.
They were Democrats. Every last one of them were Democrats.
Correct.
Even
The mayor.
the mayor, all of them Democrats, right? So all of these people went after the Central Park Five,
Yes.
knowing that more than likely they were innocent.
Yes.
Okay. 1989, these kids, black and brown, because one was Puerto Rican, they get sentenced, different jail sentence, upwards, I think, of 12 years, get out, found out they're not guilty because somebody admitted to do it. They got a whole bunch of money years and years later, right? Linda Feinstein, who was the prosecutor, was a Democrat who donated to the campaigns of Obama, Biden, and Hillary. Now, they knew what she did.
I'm gonna
Okay,
get off.
Please,
but I just want to put it out there and y'all
please,
responded
please.
to
No, I'm gonna let him.
Hold on.
Please.
You've been trying.
Okay, hold on. So they all being Democrats knew what they did. Again, Trump was a Democrat. They all knew what they did, and as far as I know, none of them returned the money.
No, but racism has no political affiliation.
Right, but I'm saying,
Come on now.
okay,
Let
let me process it. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
That they're racist. They're on both sides of the aisle.
Right.
There's racist, okay? As they say, two wings of the same bird. But I hear people bring that argument up about Trump, and I'm nonpartisan, even though people say I'm a Trump, I'm not. I hear that people say that argument about Trump, but they don't give it the full conversation. In addition to, and I've spoken to a lot of people who are from New York, they said we all thought they were guilty
Yes.
because some of them were coerced,
Yes.
right? And we know that's not rare.
Yes.
But, so they were coerced, and so the way the media and everything, they made it seem like they were guilty, though we know they're not.
But who had the financial wherewithal to put that
Okay, but
ad on there to inflame the general society, the general
but the better
population?
question is,
Yeah.
whose pen was more powerful, the billionaire or the prosecutor?
Of course, but like I said,
What prosecutor?
yeah.
Because Trump didn't have no political power.
Well,
Now, could he have some
disagree.
influence?
I disagree.
But was he in office though?
Yeah, but
let's
let's
So-
get please, please.
Okay, hold on, because I got to fill this out. So he didn't have the political power. He didn't have the power, I guess, of the pen. He was able to buy ag, but ultimately it wasn't up to him whether those kids, because you said it, were railroaded. He didn't railroad those. That was the prosecutor and all the officers, the people that worked with her decided to do that to them.
No, but what I will say, a
Mhm.
person of influence like he did, he certainly inflamed it. That takes no.
Well, I mean, okay, to your
That
point.
that takes no.
To-
Listen, that takes.
Okay, but to
He's
your
still.
point.
He's still. Listen. Well,
You said he has some power, right?
what I'm saying is he had power enough to sway the general population
Okay.
because I know people
Then-
watching this. People watch this like a newspaper. We
Right,
don't
but
do
wait a minute,
anything.
I'm gonna ask this and then I'm gonna let Terrell respond a minute so we can move on. Were they sentenced to the death penalty?
No.
So he didn't really have that much power
Why?
because he was asking for what?
Definitely.
But it wasn't involved.
Huh?
It wasn't in the law. You could kill somebody for rape.
I know, but I'm saying if he had some power, he was asking for the death penalty,
No,
but they
it's not in the law. No.
So then he didn't have no power legally.
No, but come on. Go
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so no one has heard about this shit until
Well,
he got in office.
All right, so quickly, Terrell, so I can move on.
okay, so no offense, but you realize you proved my point real time. When I just said you pick and choose. So I said the 94 crime bill, and your answer was Trump.
No,
You know,
that was not my answer.
Okay,
My answer was I agree.
okay, so check this out.
Say you agree.
But he went to 1989.
So here's oh wow.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
So like here's what is being missed in all this. Trump was not only a Democrat in 1989, he was also a private citizen. Joe Biden was a sitting U.S. senator when he authored the 94 crime bill. Bill Clinton was a sitting president when he signed it.
And the crack law.
I'm not done talking, dude. I've been sitting here for a minute. So, and then like, but when people bring up Central Park 5, they leave out the fact that Joe Biden eulogized the Klansmen. They leave out the fact that Joe Biden was a segregationist up until 1978.
Okay.
That's what I meant. You always pick and choose about what part of history you want to pick from.
Okay, so what we gonna do is, and just for context, because I like to, it's best I can fact check. So that happened in '89. Clinton wasn't president yet, but
No,
Joe Biden is up.
we're talking-
Well,
You're talking about
Crime
crime
bill.
bill.
right, that's '94. But Joe Biden, the crime bills of '86, I think '84, '88, so and beyond, right, or earlier than that. Okay, so this is the question that I have. Immigration. Are we familiar with immigration? What's going on now?
We see them everywhere.
Well, so there's okay, wait. So it says that there's tens of millions of immigrants that have come into the country, more so than any time in modern day history, anyway, under the Biden Harris administration. Okay, we know that predominantly, speaking of just Black Americans, that they are predominantly going into the Black community, neighborhood, however you want to call it. Says take Chicago for example.
A Democrat city.
Most of them are Democrat cities where we are, or areas. Going to Chicago, they're getting housing, education, food, money, and everything else in between, right? And Biden administration, they were flying in 30,000 immigrants a month. That's just the ones they were flying in, not the ones that were crossing over to the Darien Gap or any of the southern border, wherever. Now New York, all these people are coming there. But with that, the administration we have are telling Black people in regards to reparations, what are they telling us?
The money ain't there.
They're telling us no, right? We've heard Kamala say no. Her quote was,
She said, let me be straight.
she says, let's be clear. I'm not going to do something that specifically benefits Black people. No, those are her words to the T. Okay. Joe Biden has said, I'd be damned if I'm held responsible for what my ancestors did 300 years ago. And that was in regards to reparations. Now, under the Biden-Harris administration, they've allowed all these people to come over. Now, this is the other argument. I'm going to get this out the way, okay? Because I don't understand why people never really talk about this. Kamala and Biden say, well, we got this border bill, but the Republicans won't let us pass it. Obviously, there's other stuff in that bill that people have an issue with, but nobody ever gets the conversation that the border, for the most part, was closed under the Trump administration via Title 42.
Correct.
Which had to do with mostly the COVID, and of course,
Correct.
I'm not never one to say that some of the stuff, a lot of stuff that Trump wanted to do is probably racist, because he was talking about, we're gonna build the wall. I get the wall, so I get the wall. So it was closed. Biden and Harris take office. It's open.
And they
Now,
send
take
the
it
shit, man.
Take into account of what I just said. We're being told no. Everybody else is being told yes. Is it fair? And what do you think about it? And who
Let him go.
Let me say something real quick. All right, so
go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
all right, I'm telling you, we got room on the balcony. You can sit your white ass right there. So what does Trump say about reparations?
What? Oh, yeah. Okay. What does Trump say about
What does Trump
reparations?
say about
Okay,
reparations?
so Trump is now for reparations. Okay, and I love when people ask that question. Let me ask y'all this, because y'all are very smart. Do black people predominantly give the Democrats or Republicans our vote?
Democrat.
Democrats to the tune of what? If you're Obama, 98%,
90%.
you know, Hillary, 94, Biden, 96, Kamala, not so much, okay? She's anywhere between 77 and 83, 84, depending on what poll you believe. So with that, the Republicans rarely, they get about 15%, never really more than that from black people. That's just facts.
Since Nixon.
So if we're talking about Trump not want to give us reparations and Biden not want to give us reparations, if we support the Democrats more, shouldn't they be more to give us reparations? Like, where's the expectation that we get the reparations from the Republicans? Republicans don't traditionally court the black vote. They're starting to now.
Is that a question?
Yeah, so, well, I'm just responding to him. And he says, what about Trump?
Okay, well, I mean,
Okay.
to me, that really ain't no argument. I mean, ain't neither one of them trying to support
Right,
us.
but keep it in mind, we mostly give the Democrats our vote. So if I'm doing something for you, and and the party that we support, we see them saying yes to everybody else.
Can I give you a little
Uh-huh.
snippet that's gonna blow your mind?
It blow my mind.
They're never gonna do it. They are never.
Well,
We need a Janet Jackson
wait, hold
t-shirt
on,
right
wait a minute.
now.
See, listen here.
They're never.
Okay, hold on. Now I can see why you would say that.
Yeah.
What did Kamala come up with in the 11th hour last week?
Yeah.
What they come up with?
A weed for every
No,
Negro.
what was it?
Oh, I don't know.
I call it the black man plan.
What's that?
She says that I got a plan for black men because black men are saying, and this is a fact, that they feel neglected by the Democrat Party, okay? Because they call the black woman of the Democratic Party what? The backbone of the Democratic Party, negating that of the black man. So black men more so are leaving the Democratic Party.
And they say the black woman saved Joe Biden in South
They
Carolina.
always say that. They always say the black woman is
That
the
is correct.
backbone of the Democratic Party, which is a lie. You know why it's a lie? Because the black man votes right behind that black woman. So she may vote for the Democrats 94%. I'm just giving a number, and he's like 90%. Right? So the black man votes for the Democrats.
That's why I don't. When it's
Right.
CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and all of them, I don't listen to them because they exaggerate that to get views.
Right.
And I can tell you this: that black man is going to vote Democrat right after who? His woman,
His wife.
his wife.
She will F you.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm
I know what you're saying. Right.
what?
She's not gonna vote. I'm telling you that now.
Oh, okay.
She don't vote.
Oh, okay.
But wait. Okay, but so back to the point. We may never get reparations. I don't know.
No.
But
we won't.
look at the pushback that the Democrats got from the black man, and there's a lot of black women too are saying I'm not doing it. Look what they came to. It's BS. Don't get me wrong. But she had to concede. You know what? I need these black men because I don't care what you say. They cannot get into office without the black vote.
So what is she gonna do for the black women?
Well,
Let her smoke weed for
she says that she's going to make it easier for black men. Well, wait, hold on a second. I need to put this in there. Black men and others. So is that really a plan for black men? If that's what it says in that plan for black men, it says others. So it's allowed them to be able to get into the marijuana industry easier. They're gonna I can't remember off the top of my head, but business loans, they'll be able to get those. But if you got others in there, is that really for the black man?
It makes it constitutional. She has to say others.
I get that, but so then it's a lie.
Yeah, exactly. So may I reply to the reparation? So we're all the same age, right? Okay.
Well, I'm 25.
Okay.
You know
So
what I'm saying? I just turned 36.
so they've been talking about reparations since we were children,
Right.
and I agree with what you said. It's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
It's too complicated to execute, and 70% of Americans don't agree with it.
That's not what.
But the Democrats bring it up every election cycle to keep us angry and to keep us on their part. When they know that's why Gavin Newsom, like our governor of California, we're going to study it. We're going to spend millions of dollars to study it, right? Let's keep these Negroes happy, but then I'm not going to execute on it.
That is.
Okay.
Okay, but
And no
okay, but wait a
Republican
minute,
vote.
wait, let me throw some facts on the field.
But let me tell you what reparations I do
Okay, but
believe
hold on,
in.
but let me just insert that the Democrats actually
Oh, sorry, man.
they don't bring it up. So go ahead.
Okay. All right. So we can disagree on that. But here's the reparations I do believe in. Okay, so if you look up the Webster's Dictionary version of reparations, you will hear the words restore and repair. The only reparations and only restoring and repairing I'm interested in, and what Kamala doesn't talk about, nor did Trump talk about years ago in his Platinum Plus plan, is the restoration of the Black family. Okay, so we have 80% of our children being raised by single mothers. Nothing will be right for us in this country until we get the father back into the home.
Podcast over.
So wait a second, hold up. So we mentioned cops. So in full disclaimer, my daddy was a cop, LA County Sheriff for 27 years. Okay, he was on my ass, and we have a very complicated relationship. And when he died in March at the age of 90, it was tough for me. So I cannot deny the fact that I was better off because he was across the hall from me every morning. I went to bed and he was there every morning I woke up. And I think it's tragic that 80% of our Black children don't have that low baseline of experience. That's the reparation I'm interested in.
Okay.
And whether it's Harris or Trump, no one talks about the intact Black family.
Okay, so wait.
Obama raised it 1 second, and the
Okay.
Democrats ate his
All right,
lunch.
but and I agree with that. And it's usually it's about 70, but 80, 70 doesn't matter. Okay. Do y'all know who is the most involved man with his children in America?
The Black man, and he has to go through hell to do it.
Okay, wait a minute. That's not okay, wait a minute now. See,
My dad.
okay, wait a minute. That's true in some cases, right? So when I say who is the most involved man with his family more than any other man, it is the Black man. Now he may not live in the same house with his family, but he spends time with the children. He is there for the children in some way, shape, or form. So making him the most involved man. So I just want to give that context because a lot of times we say, oh, a single mom. I always try to make the difference. I could be wrong. I think there's a difference between a single mom and a single woman. Single mom has no man at all. Okay? So I just want to put that out there. And I do agree that if we have more intact households, yes, I think we would we'd see a big improvement. Is that reparations? I don't know. Because at the
Yeah, I don't consider that reparations.
Well, actually,
it's not.
I said restoration. Only
Yeah.
restoration
Okay.
I'm interested in is the Black family.
All right, but listen.
Because he gave
Yeah, but we talk about reparations. We talk about
he
reparations.
gave what do you call the definition of
Reparation.
Well, reparations means to repair.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
that's-
so now he's
yeah.
to repair
Right.
the family.
Right.
You
Okay.
guys
But,
not
so we were.
interested in that?
Wait. Okay. Great. But we want a reparations of the labor that was stolen from our ancestors. That's what we want because right now.
I
That's
have
what-
a
that's what-
Hold
What
on.
we call reparations. That
Right,
we
we
I
want.
mean, yeah, that's two
We-
different things, though. I
Right.
mean, yes, no doubt. Yes, the Black man needs to be
Right.
more,
Right.
involved in his
Hold
family.
on. Okay. Listen.
But at the same time,
Right.
how can a policy put that there?
Okay. But wait, did y'all hear anything I said?
I heard
Everything.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so you telling me that they could tell everybody else yes,
Yes.
Oh, to answer your
but
question,
wait, they telling us no.
Yes,
Okay.
They telling us, so we know the money is there,
yes, but they won't do.
but they gave y'all a plan, so
I
called.
mean, you just can't say that's the Democrats, though.
I know, but if they could do executive orders for a whole lot of other
They're
stuff,
not gonna do. Listen.
but
Can I-
okay, they can.
No, they're not.
Okay, but let's check
They
this out.
can't.
Neither party.
Because they do it all the
Hold
time.
on. Wait.
Can I give you some history on?
You can, but just give me a second.
Okay.
Okay? Because we've heard, where would they get the money? We see them getting the money. That's not getting the money for us. They get the money. They get the money.
for a sex change for a criminal. And
All right, now they park that one.
Jesus.
Park that. Because yes,
Some of that.
Kamala said yes. Yes, what he
That's going on.
but they got how much does it cost?
Talking about tax,
But
though.
you
Okay,
know,
but
you're
they
going on
spend-
tangent about
But they
reparations. Let's-
spending. I know, but I just want to give it some context though.
Okay.
They tell everybody else yes, but they tell us no. But then when the Democrats got some heat on them, they came up with this black man plan, which is not really for y'all, right? So we know even with just a little bit of pressure, they can do something.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Right, the Democrats here in California sabotaged the black reparations. Did y'all know that?
What's not gonna happen?
but they sabotaged it.
There was
So wait,
not
wait, wait,
gonna
wait. Whether it was gonna happen or not,
I agree. I agree.
why
It's not gonna
didn't
happen.
they allow Gavin Newsom to veto or vote on it?
Not gonna-
But why did they do that? Why they had that study since 2020. They spent
They're not
all those.
gonna-
Let me finish. They spent all those millions of dollars on a study here in California. And I know some of these people, okay? They spent all this money saying they're gonna study what black people should get, this, that, and the other. And they had a chance August 31st to take that to the floor, and they didn't take it to the floor. You know who called them out? It was a Republican. Bill Esselstyn in Riverside. He saw the Democrats not taking the votes to the floor. It was a Freedmen's Bureau, and it was funds. And he was like, "What are y'all doing? You got all these black people out there waiting for y'all to go take this vote to the floor," and they did not. And so Bill Esselstyn went on his phone and recorded it. And Isaac Bryan, he was the one that was blocking the camera. These are all black
Yeah,
Democrats.
yes.
They did not take it to have Gavin Newsom vote on it or not. But they have voted on. Y'all know how much money that California is spending on undocumented immigrants?
$500 million.
$2.6 billion a year.
Yes.
No matter what their status is, but they told matter of fact, they didn't tell black people, no, they didn't even take it to the floor.
But you're sitting here saying like we don't all agree. I think majority of it we all agree on. My issue is in 1944, what did they do with Japanese?
They internment camp,
What did they do 40 years or 20, 30, 40 years later?
they gave them reparations.
Okay, what did they do for the Native American or First Nation people?
They
Well,
have
they-
casinos.
You stupid.
Reservation there, they get reservations.
Well, they put them on the worst.
Hey,
They put them on the
put it all on
worst.
black.
Right.
They put it on the worst. They gave them the worst property
Okay.
or whatever. But
Which
then,
turned into
but then they give
$1
them stuff like
Then they was
they
rich
said
in
stuff,
like we are.
They have sovereign nation, all that.
or
Yeah.
free
Uh-huh.
free education or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? We some First Nation people, but during slavery we came for all of that, right?
Right.
And then
And some of us were already here. Some of us, all of us didn't come over here on the ships.
okay, yes, but they have never given us any reparations. And they're not going to do it. When they brought that up in California, whatever the political machinations was, that was purely political. They were never going to give us.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's buffoonery. $5
No,
million,
no, no.
$1 million.
Yeah, but they were never going to do it. That was purely political. There was no way you're going to sit. There was no way, feasibly, that they're going to sit here and say, "Hey, you were born in California. You you have a history of slavery, so we're going to give you this much money." That's not going to happen. It's just not
So,
gonna happen.
so they would do that, and that was why they were supposed to. I hate studies. Okay, I don't want to put that. I hate these reparation studies, but that was part of it. They were going to figure out who.
Yeah, I
You know, what
think the studies were bullshit.
Yeah, right. We know that, right? I mean, I
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kamala said we can stop
I
it. It needs to be
kindergarten
studied.
knows the basics of slavery here in America. Okay, so what are we really studying?
Right.
However, so I get the internment camps and all that other stuff. There has never been a tragedy that happened to anybody else. And I'm not saying nobody else's thing wasn't bad,
Right.
worse than what happened to us,
I agree.
right? So I don't think it's an issue that they can't, is that they won't. But
Oh, I said they won't.
right, all right. So that we've seen Kamala come with something.
She's not.
Did she not?
She want to get us
No,
high.
no, no.
Like allow you
I know, but
to get
that's
high.
because typically we know we fall for the symbolism.
Come on.
We just do.
We're going to let y'all
Man,
speak. We
Yeah, and I'm gonna change the subject.
Okay,
I
so
have a comment on that, but when
Okay.
y'all swing back around this
Okay,
way.
well, actually, hold that. Go ahead, Walter. And you just sitting. You just happy to be here. I want to get Robel's take.
No, Ravel's smart though. When he's outnumbered,
After 6
he can
o'clock.
sit.
You know what? Don't let him do.
No, you
Don't
pull
let him
part
do
after
you.
6.
Let's go.
And the police don't ever come around here anyway and take it.
Yeah,
I did too.
They just do that to scare the locals. They don't know.
Make sure I know.
So, Troy brought up a good point. The fastest way to help the black man is to put the father in his life. Like Obama brought it up for a second, and people ate his lunch. Anytime you hear, well, why don't you just bring the black father? Bill Cosby talked about black people doing. Every time that comes up, they eat their lunch. I know for a fact. So take my kids. I know for a fact their lives are better off because they have my influence. You know, one of my sons is in finance. One is like they're all business people. So I know for a fact, me being in Lord knows what I went through with one of their mamas. Help me, Jesus. Make me religious. Help me out. He was there. He saw it. Even through all that, even still being able to give them influence. So reparations, I'm just gonna piggyback off Terrell's point, is if you can grab your kid and say, no, do this, I've done that, that's not gonna work, don't date her, don't do this. Here's what's gonna work. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna build your credit, I'm gonna give you a little money, and I'm gonna be here whenever you need me. Dude, the wealth gap, in my opinion, would disappear. Because I know if I have $2 million in life insurance and if I die, and I've told my kids what to do with the money, real estate, how to invest stocks, bonds, where to put the money, who to get to know, and I leave them 2 million, the wealth gap on that section is closed.
Yeah.
But we will never get to that point, and we'll spend 100 years talking about getting money, which we're never going to get.
Right.
But what then you could do is leave your son some life insurance and teach him what to do with the money. That will go way further than reparations. But then if we did that, then black people wouldn't have a reason to vote for the Democrats, because Democrats need black people to be afraid.
Okay, but again, I just want to put this out there. The Democrats do not bring up reparations. They're only doing it because Black Americans have brought that up. And, you know, the reparation has been something we've been wanting since our people left the plantation. But what's your opinion on it?
Okay, my interpretation of this, and what I do not hear being mentioned is, what is God's plan for us? See, don't nobody want to talk about what's God's plan for us. We want to talk about Democrats and Republicans, but what God's plan? Because I'm focusing on getting to heaven, not what I'm trying to do in life. I'm trying to get to heaven. So
And I think that's black people's problem too.
Let the brother talk.
Well, the problem is, and there is no problem, because when you follow God's plan, then everything will work itself out within itself.
That's in my opinion, that's a falsehood that's been taught to black people. Jesus take the wheel, Jesus will be there. That is, listen, we all have the same God if you believe in Jesus. I just think black people spend way too much time waiting on Jesus to show up. Black people are the most religious. We'll be in the club on Saturday night in church front row, and we end up with zero. I think religion. No, I'm not saying religion is bad, but we lean on it too much. Do you know how many times I say, yo, let's get wealthy? You know, half the Negroes on my page will say, well, I'm wealthy in God. Well, where is he when it comes to black poverty and all the stuff we talk? I'm not saying God's not there. I'm saying God gives you the ability to do stuff on your own. Like, dude, we're in America, free black men. We can do whatever we want, right? We can put together some money, start a business. We can get a hold of we can do whatever we want. Ain't nobody stopping us, Republican and Democrat.
Okay, so let me ask this question since having was brought up. And I don't go to church. I just want to put that out there. But I do know the word just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make room for this lightning strike, just in case.
What is heaven and where is heaven?
Well, heaven is a place where you can connect with God on a spiritual level. Not being ignorant about the fact that life around you is happening, but we can still be included in the conversation, even though we are Christians. Okay? And even though I may smoke or drink just a little bit, but doesn't mean that
the Bible can't say you can't do that.
No,
okay,
it doesn't. It doesn't say it doesn't. It says you can not to get drunken like the others.
Okay, but let me ask y'all this: for those of y'all who go to church, how many go to church here?
I went this morning.
Praise God.
On my walk to the beach, I walk past one every day.
Okay. So where does the pastor tell you heaven is? Yeah. So where does he tell you it is?
So no, ain't no sheep.
Hey, I know who your pastor
Ain't no
is.
sheep, because God is a spirit.
Okay.
God is both male and female. God is a spirit. So therefore, heaven is the place that if you get to know Jesus, then there is a heaven for you.
So what does the Bible say heaven looks like?
Well, the streets is paved with gold. You know?
All of that. So do you know of anybody who's ever gone up there and said,
well, I'm gonna tell you something.
y'all should come on up?
You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you
Somebody should come back and be like, yo, nigga, this cool.
No, seriously. Okay, I know you got the testimony, but go
Let me
ahead.
tell you something that happened to me. When I was 10 years old, I was hit by a car. I died on the operating table 3 times. And I was in a coma for a month. But in that coma, I had dreams, and I had conversations with God. You know, that he was going to always take care of me. That's why when I got married once, how many times you remember? Anyway, one time.
That was fucked up. Excuse my
I've been
language.
married once.
I'm not good.
I've been divorced
I,
once too.
hey,
I was smart enough to.
I've been with my woman. I've been married. I've been married 30 years. My wife, it ain't the best, but it is.
It never is.
It is. I love my wife. She loves me. But listen. The spiritual content in that is that
Go ahead, tell your story, bro. Tell your story. His wife is here too.
my wife she and he made sure black woman too. So she's the best thing that ever happened to me.
I agree with that. It's a guy.
Hey, so because if you knew me before I met her, you know I was
And
a
we
wretch,
did.
and I was a wretch undone. And when I got to know her, man, she changed my life. And guess what, folks? I changed her name. Yes, sir.
That's
Oh, all right. Okay, so all right.
Bring it back to the financial aspect. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about some shit we can see.
I forgot.
Hey, you know what I want to say? When he was talking about finances, have you ever read Dr. Claude Evans
Powernomics.
and the way to what is the first step?
So
That's
there's
all.
5 floors.
Yes.
and he don't believe in reparations, by the way.
I know. But what is the first one?
He doesn't believe in
What is the
reparations.
first one?
The first one, I'm gonna get them out of order, but I can tell you it's education, politics, building.
No, but
Oh wait, hold on a second. It's 5 floors. Politics.
Terrell probably know.
No. Hold on.
you know what the first one is? Well, I was going to
Okay,
talk about
go ahead.
the first one is building a financial base.
Got it. Economics.
For any ethnic group.
Right.
It's building a financial base because that's going to empower you.
Mm-hmm.
Politics.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you have instead of and we're talking.
You can control politics.
Yeah, we're talking about the national elections.
Right.
But by far, what impacts you most day to day? County Board of Supervisors, the city council, the school district,
Right.
their school council, water board,
Mhm.
stuff like that. So when I hear people talk and they don't mention that, that's what gets me. Okay, they don't know. If you start with the financial base, that's when you sway. That's when it comes to hiring. What Chris was saying earlier, police, because hey, you got to hire the mayor. Who's going to hire the police? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if we have a financial base where you have influence in that community, that's where you make the inroads. So, as you and you say about black people, one thing I wish they would do more is, hey, let's coalesce our finances or our economic base to move where we want to. Because, if you know it or not, black people are more conservative than a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, absolutely. And I want to say this, because I know a lot of times when we talk about black people with money, for some reason we always seem to negate your Black Wall Streets and stuff. We used to do that stuff before.
Yeah.
Right. Then of course you know what happened with all that money going all that. Then you bring in civil rights.
Right.
And from that ended segregation.
Correct.
And we, went to be, amongst them who didn't want to be amongst us.
We've been spiraling.
That also helped dilapidate, most everything that we had. Because even though we didn't have like the Black Wall Streets anymore, we still had our communities. We were together. We were spending money because we couldn't spend money with them. Right.
Well, what it was back then, though, you had the black doctors and the black professionals. They were still with the community in a community.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now with desegregation, now everybody's spread off. They're moving along their economic where they can stay economically. You know what I'm saying? So it dissipates.
Right.
And the only time you're meeting is when? On Sunday.
All right.
So you don't like some Jewish communities, like some Italian communities. They have places where they meet, discuss business such as that. You know what I mean? We never were taught that, or it was never given to us.
Oh no, yeah, but our parents, right? Because my parents.
That's what I said.
Because our parents actually were there during civil rights.
Right.
Mine was anyway. They were young,
Right.
teenagers or whatever the case is. But yeah, I mean, from that point, from civil rights. I mean, we did have togetherness, but I think we also need to admit that that came from the Democrat Party. Which, you know, champion. I called it the false idea of civil rights.
65 civil rights act, of course.
Right.
Yeah.
May I jump in, man?
Absolutely.
You understand a lot, and everything is really,
And we're gonna begin. I can't see the comments, by the way, and I'm sorry.
No, the comments are right here. I can read them off.
and it's all interrelated. So let's please allow me to speak. So you mentioned reparations were given to folks that were actually in internment camps. I don't know about you.
I don't know if it was reparations. I know they were getting some.
They were given, yeah. But I don't know about you, but I was never a slave. I don't know a slave. The last person in my family that was a slave was born in 1828. Okay, that's one thing. And then you also mentioned the Native Americans. So we've already established the fact that 8 out of 10 Black kids are raised without a father. And we all agree the structure that a father gives a child. Okay, so do we really want to give checks to people who don't have that right foundation, which you just referenced to? When I hear that, it's gonna the same thing that happened to the Native Americans is gonna happen to us. And how are they doing? There's 2 ethnic groups in this country where the government has injected themselves into their families. That's the Native Americans and Black Americans. So how are we both doing? And when I hear reparations, I hear you want us to get more closer to the natives, right? So then we talk about recycling Black dollars. Okay, we know that South Indians, East Asians, they recycle their dollars like 49 days.
Correct.
Asians 29 days,
Correct.
Jews 9 days,
Correct.
Black folks 6 hours.
Correct.
So yeah, let's cut this young Black man a check, and then I guarantee you, white liberals are so sinister that they know that money is gonna come right back to them.
In 6 hours.
Can I say something? If I wanted to give my check, smoke it up in 6 hours, that's mine to do that. But I think, again, we always have this conversation forgetting that we didn't used to do that. We used to circulate our dollars and you know, and stuff like that. So it's not that we've never known how to do that. We have known how to do it, of course, bringing in civil rights and, you know, integration and all of that. But what I do with my money is my money. That is owed to our people, regardless of what we do with it. And see, I'm going to say this, because we always make excuses. We always make excuses when it comes to Black people and what we get, but nobody else gets excuses.
Why couldn't we do both? Why couldn't we, if they were going to give them money, give them money? And why couldn't we talk about improving the family, things that we can actually do? Like, I know for a fact, and this conversation, something always gets blown over. Having a man, like, my father raised me, us, and then we got a stepfather, and our stepfather's son, grandson, actually, Isaac, is, and where'd he go?
He at the beach.
He at the beach. I heard that, trying to be careful. They're everywhere. No. But having a dude in your life, like my stepfather, he's the one that was like, you should go into finance. I remember I was beating on some buckets. Remember I used to play the drums on those 2 white buckets? He's like, you need to go into finance. He said that to me one time. And that's what I did when I was looking for a job. I was like, oh yeah. He said I should be a stockbroker, which is exactly what I did. He saw me again, man. So even though he wasn't he was my father. He was there all the time. The cool thing is I had 2 dads, him and my father. And they were cool enough not to go at each other hard in the paint, telling them, you know, they kick it. But I had 2 of them. I give that credit to me being able to say, you know what, I picked a career. Now I can teach my boys and my daughters what to do. That is huge. And that's something we can fix in this generation.
Yeah.
However,
You know, I agree. He said something earlier about you said your last time George Powell was a slave was 1829. Your
1828.
1828. Mine was 1858. According when we did the thing. You're right. Race. We are not slaves. We don't know a slave. However, there is systematic Democrat and Republican cities. There is systematic things or rules or laws that were put in place to put us down. And we can say all we want about the Civil Rights Act. Some of them were, yeah, some of them were great. 1965 Civil Rights Bill that Martin Luther King helped bring in, SNCC, things of that nature. However, I can't tell you how many times he's been pulled over. He's been pulled over. He's been pulled over.
Shit, we've been pulled over together.
And the automatic thing was, you're a drug dealer, you're this and that, let me run your record. And then you see somebody else who does not have the same melanin in their skin, but treated differently. Or in school with teachers who automatically think you're not smart enough, let me put you in this class where reading level's not so high. Never, don't mind if you skipped a grade or not. Talking from personal experience from here. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So there are laws that were placed, and maybe not like today. I mean, with the advent of the internet and the advent of social media, there's ways around where you can make money. Like you said, there is no excuse that somebody should be financially illiterate. Now, you get what I'm saying?
May I respond to what you just said, please?
And then I want to.
Okay. When I talk, that's when she wants to move on and wrap up. You notice that, Trey? You got to-
Wait, hold on. It ain't never.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Make your point, man.
Okay, cool. So, I'll give you a little insight on my debate style. On most things, I will concede the argument. Like, and this is one in particular. See, I don't disagree, right? Here's what I'll say. Jesus, black. Moses, black. Egyptians, black. Jews, black. I concede all that. Redlining happened.
Yes.
Black men are incarcerated at a higher rate.
Yes.
I concede all that. But the black boy from coast to coast still can't read at grade level. What's your plan to fix that? That's rhetorical. Don't answer, please. Okay? Black boys still can't read at grade level. Black children are still raised with single moms. 1 out of 5 black children today live under the poverty line. So I agree with you. They shouldn't be giving billions of dollars to these illegals or Ukrainians. Okay? When we got black people who built this country are hurt hard. Okay? And I've been pulled over a lot. Maybe I'm at an advantage because my dad was a cop. He taught me that when you get pulled over, it's not debate class or your day in court.
Seriously.
Do what the fuck do what he tells you to do and bring your ass home. Okay? All right. So,
But the fact that you were pulled over.
I did just what he told me to do.
No, but the fact that
Yeah,
you were
nigga,
pulled
10
over.
and 2.
yeah, and when I
And we been pulled over.
and when I got pulled over, it was always justifiable. My windows were too tinted.
Okay.
I'm driving an S550. I'm flossing. I don't put my plates on.
Yeah.
Right? Stuff like that. So I get pulled over.
Yeah.
Okay. So earlier you said local politics matter more. You are 1,000% right. And I encourage people because Greenwood gets all the press, right? That wasn't the only one. Black Wall Street. That's,
Oh, okay,
yeah, the Greenwood district in Oklahoma.
The Gap Band.
So if you get on your Googles, and you search all those black sufficient towns that got rioted by white people.
Decimated.
See who was the mayor and the governor of that city and town. More often than not, they will have a D next to their name. I'm
Yeah, but
wait. So like, hold up. And as far as this systematic stuff is, I agree. So like, for example, I'm not an advocate of denying those things happen. I'm an advocate for pointing the finger in the right direction. Okay.
So
And
real quick, so for instance, Black Wall Street,
okay,
the dissemination of those businesses there, you're saying
the destruction.
at that time there was a Democrat or whatever. Is that what you're saying?
It was a Democrat mayor in Tulsa,
Uh,
and the governor of Oklahoma at the time was also a
Yeah, but-
Democrat.
Okay, and your point is,
no. Can I do it?
Oh, I'll answer his question. Because I think the thing that is detrimental to black people today, and since Reconstruction, since the end of slavery, it was the 13th Amendment to the Constitution. It wasn't the Emancipation Proclamation.
Correct.
The worst thing happened to black people today is white liberals. They're the ones They're the ones who push forward that.
No, he said that.
I'm just playing up.
They're the ones who push. Let me finish, dude.
Democrats.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead, man. Come on, Terrell.
Dude, it was Democrats who pushed the Civil Rights Act, that mindset through our community. And the most important thing, there was two things. They disassociated work with income. Fucking destroyed us.
We can't say the certain word.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They destroyed us. And they also, by legislation, they removed the black man from the house.
You're talking about welfare.
No. You're talking about civil rights.
Now, Google man in the house act.
Yeah.
That was a legal problem. That was so different. But
I'm
I'm done.
Wait,
I'm gonna disagree with you because
point is saying that Democrats did this, okay? Because you're saying like the destruction of Black Wall Street.
in
all right,
one day,
and the businesses and
The
everything.
black
A
community.
couple days wait.
Because Democrats were in office, they allowed that to happen.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because so in my opinion, you can draw and that whole the party switch. That's BS because the Democrats don't want to own their racist history. Well, we all know that they founded the Klan. We all know that Margaret Sanger founded Planned Parenthood,
That's right.
right? And we all know that the original name was of the Planned Parenthood was called the Negro Project, right? So I can draw a straight line between a Southern Dixiecrat who was a pro-segregationist, right?
Mhm.
They shouldn't go to school with us. They shouldn't live next door to us. They shouldn't marry our daughters, right? They can't learn a computer. They can't find the DMV. It's all the bigotry of low expectations.
Well, let me actually give the Southern Switch just a little context. So, a lot of times when people think of the Southern Switch, they think the party's actually switched, right? We know that Democrats, or start the KKK and all that other stuff. It was that the Democrats during LBJ, they started to become more liberal, right? So the Dixiecrats are like, well, we ain't for this. So then they started to join the Republicans. Does that make sense? So it's not like the party switched.
I can answer that too.
Yeah, so they were just more or less like, okay, we want the segregation, right? The Dixiecrats, we want that. But this new Democrat is trying to include Negroes, which they was including us since the 1930s under Roosevelt during the New Deal. But then they started coming with these civil rights acts and things like that. And so a lot of those people left. And that's how why they say Biden, they call him a Dixiecrat because he was, a part of that Southern segregationist ideology. So if that makes any sense, I probably can make people more. But yeah, and go ahead, and then we're gonna.
And then with that mindset, if that's true, then Joseph Biden should be a Republican, okay? Because it's a binary process, it's a binary system, right? So like, and just I apologize for my passion,
No.
but
go
this
ahead,
stuff's
man.
important
Speak
to me.
it. Speak.
So you can go on the government's website right now, and you can see who voted for everything in the history of the Congress, right? So I looked up how many Democrats became Republicans after 1965. Guess how many happened? Switch parties. One. Strom Thurmond, South Carolina. One. Right? Governor George Wallace of Alabama in 1963 when he said segregation today, tomorrow, forever. Right? Okay. He died in 1999, I believe, as a Democrat. He was governor of Alabama when we were in high school as a Democrat. I believe I believe white liberals and their black allies are the biggest threat to people who look like us.
I can tell you that when did
Where'd you go to high school at? Where'd you grow up at?
First 9 years of my life, Inglewood, California, I watched my grandmother cook food that she bought with food stamps. And then we moved to Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Well, can I ask you when did that happen with Greenwood?
In Black Wall Street,
1919?
it was like 1921.
So not only was there Democrats and Republicans, but there was other parties too, right? I'm gonna tell you why that argument is I don't want to say it because whether or not they were Democrat or Republican, guess what? They were still white. They still had.
I agree.
They
Yeah.
still had the power. Guess what? Guess what? North of the Mason-Dixon line, right? Northern Massachusetts, up above the South, they were still lynching Negroes.
Everywhere.
Correct? They were still taking their money. You know about
Yeah.
the Freedmen's Bureau?
Yes.
In 1865, they had given all the slaves a bank where they could invest their money or put their money safely. What happened to it?
Or that shit.
No.
Well,
You
What
tell
happened?
me.
You know, and there's a good book
They-
called The Color of Money.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
She talks about that,
Correct.
but she mentioned nothing about the
They
white man.
raided
She
that
talked about
bank.
Bill Clinton.
The people in control of that raided that bank. I think it was millions of dollars. They raided that bank and took those black people's money, and those were Republicans.
So what you're talking about,
Let me finish. So what I'm saying is this.
Yeah,
You know,
racist on both sides of the
this
park.
whole thing. Look, this whole thing about Democrat, Republican, Trump versus Kamala.
the original question.
Yeah, and you talking about Trump.
Wait. This whole thing.
Well, policies are.
Can I tell you guys something? Can I tell you guys something? Tell us. We are not too far apart from him to me
Mhm.
on policies.
I agree.
There's you probably want some policies that you want strictly not for the government to be involved in, right? There's like two more policies that I want. You know what I'm saying? Probably, hey, we need to get some health care for everybody because guess what? When people go to emergency rooms without insurance, costs more money for everybody and raises it for
Oh,
everybody.
it's a wrap too.
So
Because they don't pay.
yeah. So there's some, but in totality, there's not too many, right? I don't think. I'm be honest, man. I would rather vote for Romney than Trump.
Okay.
Romney and I'm gonna be honest. Romney and Kamala are not too far apart. I am taxes. That's probably it. You get what I'm saying? So every time you see things on MSNBC and all the when they put all this stuff on, they have what do they call it? A Democratic representative or whatever, a Republican representative. They're spreading you apart to place fear and not for people to work together. That's what you see all the time. I don't know how many times I've seen somebody with the Make America Great Again, and they come in a store, or they come in somewhere where I am, and they got this attitude like, you better not talk to me because this is what I'm from, and this and this.
Yeah, it's kind of like
And then it's the same thing if you're working or you're next to them and you talk to them, or if they have a Kamala thing, if you talk to them, you find out you have more in common than you do apart.
Well, let me just interject here.
And I want to address some of these
well,
comments
hold
too.
on.
When you finish
I'm
that.
going to say this. Me personally, especially with this election season, the most adverse interaction that I've had, this is my testimony, is from vote blue no matter who, the Democrats. I never have a Republican that I know of, that I don't see all my comments admittedly, come on and crash out. Come on and call me names. Come on and, make all these accusations. I can show you my
That's right.
block.
That's true.
I can show you my block.
That's true.
And it's all Democrats. Oh, you this, you that. Oh, you a Trump. Oh, you this. Just like, I call it crashing out for Kamala. And I'm like, why? Why are you doing that? I've never had it, and I'm not a Trump supporter, but I've never had an adverse reaction. But I don't go outside much either. So, but I've never had an adverse reaction from them. It's all I could go right now to middle any public square and say, I'm now voting for Kamala. And do you know I will probably get stoned to death? Like honestly, that's been an interaction that I've had from Democrats.
That's the culture.
Like, and it's also they cannot conceive of the fact that a black woman will now vote for a black woman. Y'all can do with that what you want.
I'm sorry. I
A
didn't
black
hear what you
a
said.
black woman will now vote for and I put in quotation, black woman. The people cannot.
Why you put-
Because she's not black.
I'm with Janet Jackson on that one.
I don't get it. Wait, hold on. I don't get into that. I'm just saying there's argument that she is or she's not. I don't care if she's pink, if she's green.
I gotta get some.
We be- I don't care what color she is.
It's a twist off.
I don't like the things that she's done. Now I don't know if y'all been on my Facebook page. Yesterday I bumped into Sheree Peoples. Now I've met her online. Some of y'all may have heard of her before. I met her online, and I've known her for a couple of years. Sheree Peoples went to jail under Kamala's truancy policy that she says nobody was hurt.
Yeah, the one
Nobody
with
went to
or
jail.
something like that. Her
Her
daughter.
daughter. I was at the mall yesterday and we just happened to bump into, never met her in person.
Yeah.
But she is still dealing with that to this day.
Right. Yeah.
And Kamala lies about it and said that she has not, nobody got hurt.
What is it called? The truancy policy.
The truancy policy, if your children don't go to school so many days and they lock you up, they perk walk my friend at 6 o'clock in the morning newspapers, everybody there. It was a photo op. She's in handcuffs. You can Google it right now.
Now, to give context to it.
And her daughter has
let's-
sickle cell.
let's give
Yeah,
context
I'm
to
gonna
it.
give content. Go ahead.
In the Bay Area at that particular time, there were not a lot of, there were a large number of kids that were not going to school.
But was her child? Why was
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Alright.
I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
I think that's probably always been the case. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was something that was more out of control then. I don't know those numbers, but I think that's kind of always been a problem. But the point that I'm making is she created this truancy policy,
Right.
and it disproportionately targeted Black women and brown. I have to separate Black and brown people, my friend being one of them. And to this day, Kamala says that that's not true. And it's verified, but that's my number one reason why I cannot vote for Kamala. In addition to her being all right, giving everybody else stuff, but telling Black people no, while expecting Black people to vote for her, but she tells us no.
I think Obama did the same thing.
Right, but why do most of us vote for Walter? And you're a lifelong Republican. Why did you vote for Obama?
I voted for Obama. One,
Traitor.
you know, I believed some of the stuff he was
Let's
saying.
keep it going, because he was Black.
No. I believe in what he was saying was true. There's a few reasons I voted for Obama. One, I couldn't stand Sarah Palin. She sounded like
John McCain.
the racist.
So it's the
one of them
first,
because
the
first
first.
John McCain was 100. Sarah Palin had her. She was this close to the presidency.
Right.
So it was because of her. And two, one, I liked seeing a Black man up front. And I was like, that's a good looking dude. That's a good look. Forget the politics. Like I did what most Black people are doing right now. Oh, it's a Black person. We need to support that person. Who won't support us?
Who are you voting for?
Very
You said that?
intellectually.
Sorry.
I did not say who I was
I
voting for.
think she all there is.
Jill Stein's on there. I mean, you can write a candidate in depending on where you live, right? I don't say who I'm voting for, only because I call them my family members, family members. I don't want to influence anybody. However, I do say I'm not voting for anything blue. I'm not gonna do it.
Nothing. You're not.
No. Well,
Nothing.
So you agree with me?
So all the way down the line on your
it
ballot,
depends
nothing
on
blue.
what their policies are, but Kamala and Tim Walz cannot have my vote.
Tampon Tim.
Well, y'all can
Okay,
Okay, wait, we got
What?
you like right. Okay, so listen.
Tampon Tim wanted
Okay.
to put tampons in the men's
Okay.
bathroom.
Oh my God.
That's your boy.
Okay, but listen. So those are my reasons why I cannot do it as a Black woman,
FBH.
and I've been a Democrat. I've been a Democrat.
Let's put it out there.
Mhm.
What do you think the chances of Trump winning or Kamala winning?
You know that's
Well, can we put money on the table?
Wait, hold on.
I mean, including from him, I want an honest.
People
I
ask
want
me
an
this.
honest.
People ask me this all
What is
the
your
time.
prediction?
I will never answer. You know why?
You're not gonna answer that?
We don't know.
She gonna give
I
you an
always say because they thought Hillary was.
I can
People
give you
went to
my
bed.
intuition.
People went to bed. Oh, Hillary won. Woke up. Who was it? Who won? It was Trump. So do we believe the polls, or do we believe the people who go to the polls and they vote?
So
Right?
do you believe that the vote is rigged?
I don't know. I don't have enough intel. But I don't have enough intel for that.
I'm in IT. I support.
Yeah, you know.
I support the voter registration stands every year,
What's
For the past 8 years.
the voter registration?
twice. So then
What is that?
it's where people go to vote.
Okay.
And you got the voter stands where you can
Yeah,
Riverside
yeah.
You don't question the
No,
integrity.
you're saying stands, not stance.
stands.
Oh, the
Got you.
stand.
Yeah,
Actual
stands.
stands
Got you.
where you walk with your vote.
Got you.
I do IT. I support those.
Okay.
And so how people like then in Temecula is rowdy. I'm showing up. Oh, you're gonna go change the vote. You know what I'm saying? I get that out there where it's mostly Trump
Yeah.
supporters.
Yeah.
Man, I'm out here trying to make sure that the network is up, bro.
Right.
Ain't got nothing to do with this vote, man. I'm not touching the ballots.
Right.
I'm not even homie, I'm only looking at the internet connection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they see me come up the county and with the badge on.
Right.
And, you know,
And that's why I try not to give that kind of stuff conversation because I don't know, and I know there's
No,
both sides people.
I'm not saying who
Yeah.
you want to win.
So
I'm saying who do you think?
I think there's a 50-50 chance.
and the
That's
question
my
was,
opinion.
do you think the
And that
vote
is-
is rigged?
And that is
Right.
dangerous.
I don't know.
That's dangerous for Kamala because
I don't know.
Hillary was up in the polls.
Okay,
and
let's talk.
lost.
Let's talk about the, I'm
And
sorry,
Joe Biden, is
sorry.
that what they call him on Saturday Night Live? Joe Biden.
You're right.
All right, let's get educated on the electoral vote and the actual
Popular vote?
popular vote.
Well,
Okay.
the Democratic cities have more people. California, New York had more people in them. So the
That's why
Electoral College.
that's why it's only like 8 or 7 states that they're concentrating on: Wisconsin, Minnesota, Ohio,
Pennsylvania.
help me out.
So those
Nevada, Arizona.
Nevada, Arizona.
And the other thing with the vote,
Yeah.
people say they gonna do one thing and they do another.
Oh, when they go in that booth.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
what did they blame Hillary's loss on? They
Right.
blame that on us.
Right.
Who really swayed us?
White women.
Yeah, but they say it was us.
No, it was white
They say it was us. We didn't
That's a
show up.
good point.
Michelle Obama said
What are
we
we
didn't
looking
show
at?
up for her husband like we or for Hillary like we did
No.
her husband, but we know it
No,
wasn't
it's white
us.
women.
But
For sure.
y'all, whoever y'all vote for,
So everybody here voting?
May I answer the question?
Because white people don't think
I vote.
on race.
I'm giving out some tea, by the way. I'm
My ballot is.
It's our fault.
I'm going with my mega hat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up.
So
like
let me answer the question, please. Let me answer the question.
Go ahead.
So I hope to God that Donald Trump becomes the 47th president.
45, 47.
That's what I want.
45, 47?
Yes, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's going to be a landslide.
Do you?
I don't even think it's going to be close.
It's,
Do you?
And then,
it's not gonna be close.
and then let me add on this, right? So you brought up an interesting point: popular vote versus the electoral college vote. I think the founding fathers creating the electoral college is one of the smartest things they've ever done. And I've met people who don't like the electoral college because they don't understand
When
it.
you expound on
And not to mention those guys who were 20 years old.
No.
They were kids. when
Why do they have the
Constitution?
electoral college though?
Okay, so no. Why did you say no? You
So
said
you're
you
talking
said
about the
you said you
Benjamin Franklin.
you said no. You channeled your inner Obama, right? You were like, no, you don't understand. So go ahead, tell me why you say no. No.
Y'all, I don't know what y'all
Wait.
cigars and your cups.
What do you mean? Why
Why we talking about
Like,
legalized weed? We started early.
No. I
I don't smoke weed. I'm federal.
think it should
Let's
be.
tell them again.
For sure, I think it should be the popular vote. I think the electoral college was a way to for those in control to control who gets in. For sure,
It's
should be
actually
a pro- it should be
a better
popular.
definition.
with all due respect,
Yeah.
you were 100% wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so the electoral college.
I dropped something.
Okay, this is why it should. This is why it should not be.
I was looking for that.
This is why it should not be the popular
Craig, we
vote,
screwed up a little bit.
because we're not running for student body president.
Mm.
We're running for the president of the United States of America, and that's a key word: United States of America.
And they want every state to have
Every state must matter. Okay, right? So you can.
I didn't say no.
Okay, so you're nonverbal. You're nonverbal.
I can't be not verbal.
So okay, so you.
This look, I didn't mean that. I just
So okay, so you guys realize that 1 out of every 4 people in this country live in either California or New York.
yes.
So off rip,
Yes.
the blue has a 25%
Yes.
advantage, right?
Right.
So the Electoral College keeps America, the United States of America, because Idaho and Montana matter just as much as California and New York does. Okay, and it forces a candidate to
go to those spots.
exactly to really campaign, get a consensus, and that's where Hillary messed up in 16.
Yes.
So she didn't go to
The
those.
flyover state.
She didn't.
And by the way, if you guys think Oklahoma, Montana, and Idaho and South Dakota are going to let California and New York dictate who's the president every single
So
4
these
years,
people are really coming out to vote.
They avoided civil war.
so
Right.
yeah, it avoids civil war. We will no longer cease to exist as United States of America. If the Electoral College is so important, they own slaves, but those dudes were pretty smart. There's a reason why there's 535 members of Congress. There's a reason why each state, no matter how big you are, or how small, you get 2 representatives. Like the foresight was incredible.
But what you talking
And
about?
they were kids too. They were like,
Yeah,
Yes.
but what
young
you
20s.
talking about?
So what about the mindset of really having somebody that you pay and you rate and
What are we talking about now?
he said, hate and rate.
We can't say that word too much.
So
I like to
slave.
bring out my coconut on Panda.
What I was gonna say,
Slaves, you know, the mindset somebody really want to do that, and the actual mindset to make the electoral vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I can't respect that.
but
But they did it to keep
You can't respect
everybody a
facts.
voice, though.
no. But what you're saying, you know, back in the 1800s, it wasn't like a regular democracy. It was like what's called, I think, a representative democracy.
No. First of all,
Did I interrupt you?
okay,
Did I interrupt you?
but
Right.
Did I interrupt? I see what. Did I interrupt?
Let Brother Greg have the mic.
okay, all right.
Greg,
Okay,
to the mic.
Okay.
But it wasn't given to, you know, it was given to people who own land and people, and you know, who couldn't vote was women.
Yeah.
And so as it progressed,
And slaves couldn't vote, which is why they got 3/5.
of course.
No, they got 3/5.
Three-fifths.
The time is 3/5
Three-fifths.
because they couldn't vote.
Yeah, but
You guys-
but that was for census. That was more for census issues. What I'm saying is, we used to have a representative democracy where it was only landowners who could vote, and then you would vote not for president. You would vote for someone who would then go and vote for president. Am I correct on that?
No. So
This
no. So wait,
that is how it was.
that last thing you said was wrong, but your it was right, but your verbiage was wrong.
Okay.
So we are a constitutional republic. Nowhere in our constitution does it say democracy. Okay. So
I didn't say
our founders were federalists.
correct.
So federalist means that the central government is a republic that works in tandem with local democracies.
Correct.
That's how we get representatives to go to Congress. So when we vote on November 5th, we're technically we're not technically voting for president. We're voting for electors. And what everyone needs in this country is a civics lesson. And
Oh, for sure.
and then people wouldn't hate. Oh, I'm telling you right now, if the Electoral College went bye-bye, the states would go after. Would soon be done too. I'm telling you, all those flyover states would not let California and New York dictate who the president is.
And that's why the college is here, and we're not gonna be able to change it. So we talking about something we can't
Just
change.
like reparations.
But here's I wanted to some of these comments. Somebody made a really good comment.
Okay.
This is
And,
where
and hello, everybody. I'm blind, so I can't see the comments. So welcome.
There's hope for you.
I can see him, but here's the thing though. Somebody made a comment and they used my name, so it attracted me to it.
Okay.
Is why aren't we using our financial knowledge to educate Black people so when they get reparations, they know what to do? And I'm gonna say this the quiet part out loud. So I'm gonna leave room for the hate in the comment section. Is the problem we have as Black people is I think when you cut the head off a snake, it's dead. And in my opinion, the head is the father. Like my father, when I was 5 years old, love it or hate it, I went to work with him every day. I don't even remember doing homework. I barely remember going to school. I just remember I was going to the shop. And from being
What pops do?
to my father, my real father,
What did he do?
he taught me business. I went to a shop. He was like, I need a half inch. I need a 3/8. I need
All right.
when the police show up, shut up. He gave me all that stuff. So I remember just following his lead. And to this day, even when my father talked, we talk about this stuff. But he taught me what I needed to know to get up and go to work. To this day, me and my father have the same work schedule. Get up before the sun and get home after the sun go down. I think if we spent that time putting that into our kids, I think this would be better off. As far as the financial stuff, and it's funny, no one pissed on Dave Chappelle when he did the show back in Black got reparations.
They giving out free money, y'all.
Cigarettes and weed and all that stuff. And I don't believe in that all the way.
But I think that was satire. He wasn't
It
really.
was satire, but that's what he kind of thought.
No.
Let me
No,
back
no,
up. No,
no.
seriously, Dave Chappelle
No.
is not just a comedian.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant, man.
No, it was satire, man. He didn't really believe that.
It was satire, but it was only funny because some of us knew there was a good chance that was going to happen with a lot of us.
Right.
Come on now, seriously.
Oh, yeah, but
That's why it was.
So look, for instance,
Is it a good reason for us not to get reparations?
I'm not saying you shouldn't get it. So look, every black man in America gets $400,000. Okay, reparations.
White liberals will be happy.
So you
Because they would get the money back faster.
They'll get the
And that's what
You
we need
see
to
what I'm saying?
that's what we need to fix. And so that's where I was going with the comment, is that we can get our people to stop and get in the
Walter,
finances.
where does it start though?
But the problem is,
It's financial education.
I'm gonna say it out loud, they won't
The
listen.
father.
Me, so when I go to an event for black people, and the finance guy, they're like, "Oh shit, we're going to the bathroom. We'll be back." When the choir shows up, it is packed. And I've done a bunch of these. As a matter of fact, I took Morgan Neville to an event, and everyone's like, "Yo, everybody left when you came up." But when the choir showed up, it was you couldn't even get a seat.
But Walter, it's number one.
That's our
What
fault,
we
not,
agree
not
on.
the white man.
What we agree on. It starts at home, right?
Father should be.
Right. My grandfather, 9th grade education, dropped out, or for whatever reason, joined the army, came back, moved here from Alabama, acquired six. Yeah. Acquired six. He acquired 6 properties or more, and left it all to his children.
That's
Now-
what's up.
Now, if he didn't give that financial education to his children, you get what I'm saying? Then what will they do with the property that they
He's
get?
he gave them the education.
No, he didn't. He didn't. So when they got it, guess what? They lost it because they didn't have the financial education. So what we have to
real
do,
time.
what we have to do is, like I teach my sons about financial education, about credit, about investing, about acquiring real estate, but also to be financially disciplined. And instead of, how you said you go to these events and they got the choir, you know what I like? When I have 7 people with like minds. You know what I'm saying? 10 people with like minds.
Mhm.
And then those 10 people can influence another 10 people. You have to start with that small group.
And it would be nice if we could do that without the fear. The problem I have with our race is fear is at the top of level. When you look at religion, if you don't do this, you're going to hell. If you vote for Trump, black people y'all gonna be back in chains. Like it's everything.
Now, yeah, that one chaps my eye right there.
It's fear. Everything you gotta work 10 times harder. And he told us to Morehouse, you gotta work 10 times harder to be. No.
That's Obama.
I'm talking about Joe Biden. Y'all gotta work 10 times harder. I gotta watch Saturday Night Live. That shit is funny. You gotta work 10 times harder. I can tell you, I did not work 10 times harder.
I don't think he worked. I don't
I'm
think
going
he
to
did
work
that.
18 hours. I spent 3 of those working.
No, but I don't think he did that.
You did work 10. I think you worked 20 times harder.
But
Bro,
that's not true. I worked more. Toronto said we were next to each other.
But well,
I worked for a few of those hours. I just worked smarter. I spent most of those times trying to plan my
Can I piggyback
happiness.
on what you just said? Because sometimes I think black folks, we do it to ourselves. Because when Walter and I, back in like 99, 2000,
Mm-hmm.
I had the idea. I said, let's go to LA and let's teach our people what these white people are doing.
And that was the start of my demise.
Yeah, and it was crickets, right? It was crickets.
Wait a minute, why was that the start of your
I
demise?
blame this brother. No, no, we talking. We went in together. That's how I ended up working for Kanye West. Is we were like, we're gonna help our people, and they wanted nothing to do with it.
So, really quick anecdote about my daughter, and this is what a white man taught me in corporate America, because we come from a culture that says, "Boy, you was wearing diapers when I was doing this. We can't tell our daddies nothing." Okay, and being in corporate America, I saw other cultures. They raise and lift their kids up. They expect them to go out to the real world and bring back the hot stuff for them. Okay, they don't tell them get in line. They say it's your turn. So I instill that in my kids. I demand them to do better than I did, and I demand them to bring the hot shit back. Okay, so when my daughter turned 18, I taught her how credit cards work because all those offers came in the mail, right? Okay, you get a credit card. You treat it like it's a charge card. That means you pay the balance off every single month.
Right.
And the way to pay every single month is never access more than 20% of the available credit. You got $1,000 limit, don't charge more than $200.
Right.
Pay it off. So my daughter's been doing that for the past 6 years. Now she just turned 24 in May. And 2 weeks ago, her American Express Gold card came in the mail with no limit, 24 years old, because she did what I told her to do. And now my son's doing the same thing, right? But when we were marketing Black folks, they weren't hearing none of that. And I didn't get my platinum card until I was like 34, right? So I told her, you better get yours before you get 30. You better beat me. Do better than me.
Yeah, as a person who teaches that.
And dude, we had black cards too.
Yeah.
Oh, unheard of.
This dude was in the club and brought it out.
No. He would drop it on purpose.
Yes.
I would take my black card and be like, pow.
Yes, I remember. But my thing is,
So everyone would hear the metal.
Hey, I was like, this is a PW.
yeah.
So my point is, sometimes we do it. Sometimes we do it to ourselves.
That's a PD, my bad.
But to summarize, more than anything, but before people start looking at politics, and I know this is a podcast, and that's the main thing, people have to realize that it starts with, I will say again, Dr. Claude Anderson, it starts with finance, getting you guys an economic base so you can have influence in your community, in the local politicians. And like I said before, between the policies of the Democrat and Republican, there's not too much difference. And also, the same corporatists who are supporting the Democrats are still supporting the Republicans.
So at the end of the day, no matter who's in office, we gonna be all right.
That's right.
Amen and hallelujah.
Black ass,
True
I'm
that.
gonna work.
True that.
You gonna be.
That's because,
It
you know,
is
I get the
all
ground.
We gonna be
I'm a hustler. And
How many jobs you got?
sweet.
Hey, dude, he for Kamala really is Jamaican.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no matter, my spirit tells me no matter who in office,
You'll be all right.
we're gonna be all right. But, you know, we want to kind of line up with the spiritual values. What I like about Trump is like, look, you know, we're gonna keep men out of women's sports.
I love
Come
that.
on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I think
Come
I don't
on,
know,
man.
just for me, I think most people have to concede that. I mean, who wants their daughter
Right.
wrestling with? And I don't want to get because I get confused talking about it, so I try not to, but I don't want my daughter wrestling with somebody who used to be
True that.
a man,
Yeah,
but now they say they're
Yeah, but
woman.
I agree too, but
Yeah.
how many people are doing that? How many people?
No, that's
But
not
it's-
true.
it's-
It only takes one.
That doesn't work.
I tell you why it does work, and I have a personal because I referee.
Okay.
And so I see it. I see it when you have a track. I don't do wrestling. But
Well, have you seen a man in women's sports?
Yes. And I don't totally agree with it, especially in the wrestling or the boxing where you can seriously hurt somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
They be knocking them out.
yeah, but my
See
point
that
is,
fight? She's like, I've never been hit that hard in my life.
my point is, I think it's used to.
They called her a
to
woman,
sway voice.
but I mean, I called her a man when she was.
It was a woman. Man.
So that mindset, hold on, Walter. So that mindset you just said,
Yes.
right?
Sure.
Oh, it doesn't happen too often. It wasn't, right?
I'm going from personal.
Okay, so cool, whatever.
Yeah.
Is you personal or if you read about it in the paper?
Well, no, it's not whatever. I'm telling you.
Because you referee, so you see it.
So I see it.
Okay, all right. So, with that same mindset,
Yeah.
be okay if someone says, only 12 unarmed black men get killed by cops a year. It ain't that bad.
You can't correlate.
Yeah, yes, you can. It's the ideal. Yes.
You can't. I'm not gonna go.
Well, I think, and
You're diminishing. My point is,
Wait.
1 is too many.
Yeah.
And 12 is too
And
many.
Here would be a good question to ask. If you had your daughter, and let's say your daughter
So
was
you're making it personal now.
No. Yeah, so
Sometimes you have
if you had your daughter, and your daughter was going to be born 20 years from now, and you worried about protecting her, who would you rather have president? Donald Trump or Kamala Harris? If you're worried about her safety. Donald Trump, and he's a Democrat. Why would you say Donald Trump?
Wait. I'm sorry, I didn't get the question.
If you're worried about your daughter's safety, her being protected,
Regarding what?
just being alone, being a woman, going to the locker room by herself, not fighting dudes, not having to, have men in her space.
But that's already a month.
I don't.
But who would you rather have as
But that's
president?
already a month.
And who do we care more about? Our daughters?
I'm gonna give you what I think. Again, I don't agree with all of it, but at the same time, that is a small microcosm of what I'm concerned with. You know what I'm concerned with? Whether I can get my son to college, whether I have clean water, whether the FDA is working.
I have,
Oh, hold on,
I
hold
have
on.
2 sons in college.
Okay, whether the FDA is with the food and getting
That's
clean.
RFK.
What I'm saying is those issues are what I'm concerned about. These social issues, which, like I said, I don't agree with all of them. They are secondary. Now,
That's
20 years, now 20 years from now, it might be male transgender and stuff we're not familiar with. I don't agree with you. You get what I'm saying? But we have to not only make sure our and he goes back to God too. Make sure we're in the right place and the right mindset, but also like
Who's closer to God? Would you think if you had to put blindfolded, you can just hear the rhetoric going from your point? Would you, if you strictly was going on God and Jesus, and you heard both of them talking, Kamala saying, "I'm okay with transgender switching and blah blah blah," who would you want in office? If you
So
could
if I
see their
was,
race
so
or
if I
color?
was blind, and I just heard Donald Trump speak. I just heard him speak.
Oh, you heard both of them.
No. I just heard Donald Trump speak because I've heard him in the past. But if I just heard him speak right now and what he's talking about, of course, slam dunk Donald Trump, slam dunk. But because I know the history of this man,
What history?
Let me.
I know the history of this man.
What
Okay,
history?
we're gonna be here all day.
No, we got a few more minutes.
We got to get like 10 more minutes.
I gotta get my question in. I gotta get my question in.
Ask me the question.
So, you mentioned your faith a couple times
Yes.
this evening. So how do you feel that a couple days ago at a rally, someone yelled out, "Jesus is Lord," and Kamala's response was, "You're at the wrong rally"?
But see, I don't know nothing about that.
I just told you about it.
Okay,
Oh, and I saw it. We can YouTube it.
I can text you video.
Yeah, I saw
but hold
it
on,
too.
but
I
hold
saw
on.
it.
no.
This
Yeah,
is
this is
the first time I'm hearing about
no,
it.
no, no.
This is the first time.
Hold on.
Because I work every day, 10 hours a day. All right.
Yeah.
I go home, I go to work, I bring home the bacon. She fried up in the pan.
She's frying up our lamb chops right now. This shit was only supposed to be an hour. He only said
But based on the question that was asked me,
Mhm.
if I didn't hear what Donald Trump speaks about in the past, of course, he makes the most sense. He's the most.
What did he say? What about? Because you keep mentioning it, but you're not being specific. What about his past is making you vote for Kamala?
Okay, like with the Central Park Five, that was before he was in politics. But he as president, you know, he said some contradictory things that I didn't like.
Like what's for?
I can't think of them right now. I can't think of them right now because I'm not as sharp as Greg.
Yeah.
But
What did he do? What is he?
Yeah, what do you
ever
do?
done?
What do you do?
What has he ever done to black people?
No. I'm just let's just
Besides pay for Jesse Jackson's run.
And you put Jennifer Hudson up in a hotel for free. Where was all the Democrats at? Just saying.
Mike Tyson.
No,
I mean,
Mike
the
Tyson
list goes on and
had
on.
my back.
He wasn't a racistly ran president.
Mandela.
But this was
Yep.
before he was even president. This was even before he was
When he had no
president.
political power.
When he had no political power. When he was just Trump. And he had the Trump Towers. The Trump hotels, whatever.
What do
Who let out Alice Johnson?
Who Obama passed on.
Who's Alice Johnson?
She was a black woman.
Oh,
She
Granny.
is doing a lot of years for a low-level drug
Life.
offense. Yeah. And she asked Obama for a pardon. He said no. But Trump came along and said yes.
wait,
She's out.
there's no doubt that he did. You know, he did two good things. What act was that?
First step.
First step.
First act,
First
and
step.
then he did for veterans. He started a White House line so
Mhm.
people could call when the Veterans Affairs weren't doing what they were supposed to. There's no doubt that his administration.
So
I don't cast
he's
like,
putting America first.
but then wait.
Again.
There's hope for Bob. There's hope for you too. But my thing is, with the whole, for instance, with the Obamacare, he did.
Why are
hold
you
on.
trying to dismantle that?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
trying-
No. This
He
is
has
the
no
second
plan
point.
for it.
Donald Trump did not dismantle
Wait,
that.
wait,
He's
wait,
trying
hold
in
on.
office when he was in.
Hold on,
He's trying.
hold on. He was trying to, but the thing was, it wasn't just that he was just doing it as a personal vendetta. It wasn't like, oh, I just don't believe in it, because if he did believe in it, he would have had an alternate plan. And by the way, what
He
did he
got there and was
say?
like, oh, it's kind of working.
No, what did he say when during the what you call it, during the debate? What did he say? I have a concept of plan. He
Yeah,
had no plan.
he didn't have no plan. He didn't have no
So
plan.
if
What are you
that's a
saying?
policy, if
But
that's
he didn't touch Obamacare though.
he tried to.
He couldn't.
He tried to.
He tried to.
Yeah, he tried to.
And McCain was like,
He couldn't.
He tried to repeal it and
He couldn't.
replace it.
With what?
Right.
Hold on.
That was the verbiage.
What did
That
he
was the
replace
verbiage.
it with? What did
What
he
is
what did he
He
replace it with?
couldn't. He couldn't.
He didn't have a
I
concept.
question.
He didn't have a
Have
plan.
you guys ever met anyone on Obama plan?
Yes.
Okay, everyone who ever met on Obama plan hated it.
Dude, my plan
I
was
also know some people who
$700.
Unless they're really desperate
That's
to.
not true.
That's
You
not
know,
Yeah, I
that's
know.
not true. Love it
Yeah.
because
if you're
They
below
didn't
the
have
property
to.
line,
Love it.
it works for you.
they didn't
My
have a
premiums were $700.
Yeah, so that was the flip side of it.
If you
Right.
were poor,
Exactly.
Obama plan worked. But if you were making $100,000 or $70,000, Obama plan
But
that
guess
shit
what?
didn't work for you.
But the thing was, it was trying to get people who were healthy to go into a system to help pay for the
Exactly.
Do you guys know
Wealthy
why?
people tend to be healthier.
You guys
It's a
know
whole nother
why
podcast.
pre-existing conditions, which is a cornerstone of Obama plan, was so important to him?
To Obama.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
yeah.
She does her homework. So, because of his mama, so, you know, Barack Obama's mother, his own words, right? She influenced him politically above and beyond anybody else.
Okay.
So she was a socialist. Some of her friends called her a communist.
Okay.
You know that Barack Obama, do you know her name?
I can't think of
I mean, he's the first black president. We should know everything about him,
No, we
right?
shouldn't. No, we
I
shouldn't.
just know what Donald Trump was.
What? Okay, but wait. What? Wait.
I know his father was.
No.
That was too shade right there. It was shade.
What's his mama's name?
And Charles, for whatever reason, I know was married.
Yeah, so you missed the context, man.
He need to talk about his mama because his father carried the weight. Answer the question.
The context was Obama was the first black president.
Bill Clinton was.
Okay.
You know
Okay,
what?
all jokes aside, okay? Okay, his mother, her name was Stanley Ann Dunham, okay?
Okay,
And her family owned slaves.
right.
Barack Obama's only lineage to slavery is that his mama's family owned slaves.
Right.
His father was from Kenya,
Right.
okay? So anyway,
So he's not really black then.
No, he's not African American.
no, he has
Yeah.
sub-Saharan African DNA, just like Harris does, but they're not black
That
Americans.
is Kenya, like
Which
Kenya.
is most of
He
the
was actually the first African American president. And let me give you a reason. His daddy was from Africa, his mama was from America. Thus being, he was an African American.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, so like,
happened was.
hold on. I define black American differently than you do.
He was joking.
Okay, in my opinion, to be a black American, you should be able to trace your bloodline to one of the 13 slave states in this country.
I mean, black is
Okay.
African. We have.
No, it's sub-Saharan.
We don't be here all
If
day.
they say black, they're talking about.
No, I want you to make some point.
So let me go back to Obama.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me go back to Obama. Okay, the reason why pre-existing conditions matter so much to Barack Obama and why it's a cornerstone of his healthcare plan is because his mother never held a job in her life that wasn't funded by a grant or a loan because she was a socialist / communist. And by the way, so she only worked until that grant was in place. And when that grant, let me finish. So when that grant dried up, she was off to the next job. She caught cancer in between the grants being funded, which funded her employment.
That's how she passed away.
Okay, yeah, of cancer, right? So that's why he cares about pre-existing conditions.
Is it a bad thing?
I don't know yet. So as I don't know yet because as a businessman, right? So are you in real estate?
He's like, my business ain't your business.
So, hold on. So hold on. So let me just say, I know for a fact that people don't invest in real estate without there being an inspection and appraisal. You kick the tires.
Correct.
I know for a fact with my car insurance, I cannot get into an accident and then call somebody, another company, say, hey, insure my car with this pre-existing dent in it.
Yeah.
What's important to me is when I was a kid, my parents stressed. They stressed getting a good job. Don't get caught without medical insurance. And I don't think enough of that is being done today.
I'm gonna hit you with something personal. Wait. I'm gonna hit you something personal right quick. We got a pre-existing condition right here.
What's that? He's there.
He got injured when he was 10. So should he not have insurance now because of what happened to him at 10?
What happened?
Well, his injury's not affecting him anymore.
No. Yeah,
I mean, but you're not using it as an excuse to do shit.
But
No.
he
So
got
like,
He was hit by a bus.
He got pre.
but that's what was bad.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it continues to affect him. And he has a pre-existing condition wherever he goes now to a different job. He has a pre-existing condition that can like kick him off. Hey man, his left side don't work.
You guys leaving on it?
Okay, so I don't think we're comparing apples to apples.
Oh, okay.
So like, I'll give you an example. So I too have a pre-existing condition.
Okay.
I know I don't look like it,
Yeah.
but in 22, I had 2 strokes.
Okay.
My left leg was paralyzed.
Okay.
Walk with a walker, physical therapy, blah, 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 blah. I had brain surgery
Okay.
to fix why I had the strokes.
Correct.
After my brain surgery, I had an aneurysm and 2 blood clots.
Damn.
I had to go back for 2.
He's not done.
I had to go back for 2 more surgeries to fix that, right? Okay. Then they found out I had cancer.
Damn.
Then in 23, I did 3 months of radiation therapy at City of Hope.
Okay.
And thank God that my parents didn't peddle in entitlement. And they told me when I was 15, 16, 17 years old, you're only on our insurance till you're 21 or 22. Get busy. And I got busy. And I thank God I had insurance to handle all this.
Okay, but let me say this. Because, I mean,
That sounds like more do for self, which is
I
more
get that.
the black.
I get it.
Man,
But there's
Did you go on?
I don't have a problem with Obamacare. I don't. Because there are some people that no matter, where they work, if they work, maybe they don't qualify, then they can't afford, to pay for health insurance. Health insurance is expensive.
Yes.
I pay for it out of pocket myself. I work for myself, so it's expensive. But there's some people who cannot do that. Now with pre-existing, some people before Obamacare could not get health care at all. Like, so regardless of what happened to you, that's a pre-existing, we can't cover you. It's like life insurance, right? Although it's,
It's not talking about because you can't afford insurance. Let's talk pre-existing condition is if you're going from one job to the other and you're going to get some insurance, and guess what? You had cancer. We can't do it.
right. They didn't. A lot of people
So
didn't
are we talking about group insurance now? Because
regardless of what it is.
well, that's
Yeah.
underwritten differently. But here's also another point. So I'm in the middle, right? I think the greatest country on God's earth should take care of its most vulnerable.
Right.
But I have a business partner, okay? He's educated. He has professional designations. He drives a luxury car. He vacations in Europe. He sends his daughter to private schools, but he's elected not to pay for insurance. Not to pay for insurance.
Health insurance.
Yes.
Okay.
But he wants Obamacare. He wants the government to pay for his insurance.
No.
Is he right?
How it works. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works.
Realistically, I think everyone should.
Wait.
No. He believes in universal health care.
Oh, you mean, everybody gets it?
He believes the government should pay for it.
Oh,
Well,
that's not the ACA. That's not Obamacare.
but he does have Obamacare and he hates it.
Oh, well.
And if we can get a cap on the medical expenses, because if we get to the top, it's all cronyism. They're all in
Oh,
it.
for sure.
Right.
Sure.
Republican and Democrat, they're both
For sure.
making
Right.
money in the medical world.
For sure.
So anyway, we could be here another 13 hours.
So Harris to Trump, that was the original
Well,
question.
I think.
And one thing when we did talk about Harris, we never talked about policy.
Wait. Well, I think for my summation, as I think I heard you say, we're more alike than we are not,
Correct.
right? So at the end of the day, and we say this a lot on my show, regardless who's in office, we got to do for self. Okay, we got to do for self. However, we want our check. We want our check. And then we want our check at the end of the day.
Hey, I'm like, what's
Our
up?
reparations
It's
check. Check.
never turned down money.
Let's check.
It won't happen.
Well, guess what?
It ain't gonna happen.
Guess what?
That's a good diversion for black people.
Guess what?
Talk about something you
And
will
the-
never
and-
have,
yes.
something you
and
could
the-
do
Yes.
is be a father to your child.
Right, and the Democrats will never get my vote. Anyway, we love and appreciate every last one of y'all. Thank y'all for staying over time. Next week, I will be back in my studios. And I'll be back here Tuesday with Donovan in his studio. Right, all of that. So anyway, I love and appreciate every last
Oh,
one
wait,
of
real
y'all.
quick. How do you find everybody? How do we find you? If
Are you trying to be found?
I ain't trying to be
He
fat.
ain't trying to be. You trying to be
How do we
found?
find you?
Absolutely, you know the truth.
Okay, well tell them how to find you.
The best way to find me is on Instagram at It's Terrell Pink.
TerrellPink. Me, you can just go to Walter Culture.
I'm just starting it. I wrote a
Don't go to the internet. Go to Facebook.
Look at Craig and Greg.
I don't.
Are you trying to be found?
Yo,
I
Craig,
don't
how do we find
know
you?
how to find my Instagram. I don't.
I'll show you.
Hold on, we gonna find out right
I
now.
ain't trying to be
You
fat.
hit that circle.
For real though.
God.
That's too much for me, you know.
What are you looking for?
That is.
What's it for me?
Oh no, me. Well, find me, man.
You need to spend some
Hey, great MCCU one.
You need to find yourself.
gmail.com. Nice seeing everybody.
All right, so Walter, can you hit the end button? Thank y'all. See y'all later.
I thought you said the end button.
Peace.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think it's
the end button.
End.
I thought you said the end button.
Come on, Kunta.
Oh.